What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Awfully Silly. My name is Conception. I'm the host of the show. If you haven't seen the show before, it is taking your favorite block from your mainline GDQs, which is, of course, the awful or silly block, putting it right in those primetime hours and showcasing some of, at least my personal favorite, awful or silly runs. And we have a doozy of a show for you tonight, but want to go over a few announcements before we get started. So first, in case you weren't aware, SGDQ 2023 is coming up. That's going to be May 28th through June 4th. It's going to be in person in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if you're interested in attending the event, registration is now open until May 3rd. The games list will be released on April 4th. And you can feel free to you can view the submissions on the Games Done Quick website, and feel free to tweet at Games Done Quick with what you're hoping to see in the event. If you're trying to see some hype runs that are submitted, let us know. We'd love to hear it. Additionally, if you want some more GDQ fun, Games Done Quick is also returning to PAX East 2023 this week. So that's going to be March 23rd through the 26th, the end of this week. And be sure to check out the speedrun stage if you happen to be there in person, if you're interested in watching some speedruns or playing through the gauntlet. And especially if you happen to enjoy a game called Bug Snacks, because I'll be there running that as well. So just a personal plug there for you. But I think for now, we got to jump in. Now, today is a very historic episode for Awfully Silly, because not only are we getting to feature some excellent games that are based around animals of all different kinds, but today is the first episode of Awfully Silly that we have ever had a race. And we are going to kick tonight's show off with 3D Frog Frenzy, run by the twins, by the way, related twins, brothers. That will be, of course, Sandshark and Silver Moonlight. Go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much, Conception. Hi, everyone. My name is Sandshark, and today, Silver Moonlight, my identical twin brother, and I will be facing off to determine once and for all who is the 3D Frog Frenzy champion. 27 years of sibling rivalry has come up to this point, and we've been practicing, we've been squabbling for ages with who's the better brother, all that. It's all going to come down to this race here on Awfully Silly. I'd also like to introduce couch commentary per se. My poodle Cookie over here will be here for moral support, but I'd like to introduce Silver Moonlight, my identical twin brother, if you want to say hi.
Hey everyone, it's great to be here. Excuse my voice, I'm a little sick, but nothing's going to stop me from defeating my brother in this race. But no, this is going to be a lot of fun.
And also joining us on commentary is the wonderful Smooth Operative.
Hi, I'm Smooth Operative. What's going on, everyone? You can call me Tippy if you remember. And I am also a host on the GDQ Hotfix. I host a show every other Tuesday called Time Capsule, but I just so happen to be a 3D Frog Frenzy admirer. So when these two gents asked if I would commentate, I said yes, and I didn't hesitate. So here we are. Who's ready?
I am definitely ready. I am so ready. Silver,
before I'm ready, you're not only an admirer, Tippy, you're actually a runner as of recently, because you finished a run, which I very much admire you for, because this is a hard game.
Thank you. I finished a run last night, my friend, so I'll be submitting that today, and I think if you enjoy this game, like, don't think about it. Just do it. So we'll show it off here in a second.
But I think I'm all ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. You're going down.
All right, no worries. Tippy, would you like to give us a countdown?
Absolutely. Okay, racers, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
So this is 3D Frog Frenzy. You might think it looks a little similar to Frogger, which I imagine is kind of similar, only 3D. So that is something that the game has going for it, and as well as an amazing soundtrack and amazing level design. So right now it looks like Sandshark is slightly in the lead, but the racers are going to be kind of trying to maneuver through traffic throughout the game and also get across these logs. And they both have to be very careful because Froggy is the only frog in the world that cannot swim. So we have to be really quick about it and not get fall in the water.
Sandshark, what's the lore of this game? You got to tell everyone about the lore. There actually is lore to this game.
The lore of this game is actually in the game's manual. And the lore is you are Froggy. He's cool. He's fast. He's the only frog in the world who cannot swim. And he is trying to escape the clutches of a French chef who is trying to capture him and serve him frog legs at his restaurant. So to escape this predicament, Froggy is going to flee to the Bahamas, of all places. So he is navigating 22 levels to try and escape to the Bahamas so he can be free and not be served up as dinner for someone at someone's restaurant. Quality lore right here.
Exactly.
Beautiful. I had no idea about any of that.
And
Oh, by the way,
go
sorry.
ahead, Silver.
I just wanted to interject that I was told today by Tippy that today is actually World Frog Day, so this is the perfect game for the occasion.
It is. So be kind to your frog friends, my friends.
And I definitely did that on purpose. That was
Totally
intentional.
planned.
Yes.
So it looks like Silver is just finishing up the tightrope kind of level. You'll see a lot throughout the game that there are these one-tile walkways.
Oh, no!
Speaking of, it
What
looks
did you
like
do, Sand Shark?
Sandshirk just
What did
fell
you
in the
do?
water on this.
I went too early.
A little too early, so there's still time to catch up though, because there is a little bit of log RNG. Sometimes you don't get a fast log where you want it, or the logs are kind of random, but it's actually pretty close right now. And I think this would probably be a good time to talk about power-ups. There are a couple of different power-ups in the game, most notably the water walk power-up. And so when you have level like this one, for instance, and getting a water walk, it's pretty overpowered because you can skip all of these little traffic sections and just head straight to the goal. So you'll see a lot more power-ups probably pop into the game. It's just they're all completely random and they all do different things. So I'll try to talk about them if we see more throughout the game.
Some of them aren't beneficial, so I'm trying to avoid those.
Yes.
Okay, come on.
This one, we're waiting for the fast log. Oh, nice. Okay, Sandshark got the fast log there.
Just in time, too.
Yes, there is the bonus points power up. That one doesn't really do too much for the run. It's just, there is a score in the game.
I just go walk on water.
That is not fair.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm completing the game with my skill, and you're just doing it with luck. That's not how it works.
It's a little scary having water walk, depending on where you are, because it is a limited time thing. But the two of you are very close right now, so
Yeah, just
good
go
job
ahead.
on the race.
I don't think I've ever seen this many lead changes this early in the game, but this level is what's really gonna determine who's gonna go in front. There are like 4 rows of logs that are completely random, and I'm just gonna be quiet for a second so I can try and find the right set.
Yeah, so they're both looking for a set of 4 logs that they can use to kind of cross. And as you can see on like Sandshark's screen, for instance, they're not really lining up the best. And it looks like it's the same for Silver right now. So they're both just trying to find that 4 log, the magic 4 logs. Yeah. Froggy can go side to side on the logs, but sometimes it's difficult to, I guess, measure the distance, especially when the logs are going by fast.
All right, I've just managed to get one, and this is probably a good idea. Like, I'm also running against the clock here. The only problem with the clock is that when this game was programmed, they didn't program 1 second correctly. So 1 second is actually equivalent to 6/10 of a second. So that's why it goes down faster.
Oh, come on. Give me a break.
The logs are not
I can do
being
it.
kind.
Oh, thank goodness.
Good job.
Nice. Okay.
Oh.
So you're both going to be on the same level now, but it looks like Silver is slightly ahead, completing this level. This level, not too much to it. You just have to make sure you don't get hit by any of the cars. Thankfully, on that second section, they just go a bit slower. The same can't be said for this next level that Silver is on. The cars, some of them go quite quickly, so it can be difficult to time this one.
Yeah, I'm just going to wait here. There we are. This level is called What Am I Doing in Here? And that is actually a very accurate question. And for the game overall, I don't know what I'm doing here. But I just want to stand here for a second to admire this frog sphinx. If I ever go to Egypt and I don't see that, then I'm going to be very disappointed.
Honestly, same. It's pretty magical.
Truly the peak of design. Anyway, let this power up here. Oh no! I got the freeze power up.
That's not a good thing.
But that doesn't help me now. My log is frozen.
So freeze comes in handy for the heavy traffic levels, but unfortunately on these moving log segments, it's not ideal. Thankfully, the power up, or I guess, D power up. Didn't last very long. And Sandshark is going into the next level, same as Silver.
Yep, this is called Froggy Goes Egypt. I mean, we were just in Egypt, but I guess we're actually in Egypt now.
We're on the highway in Egypt now. This
Downtown
level is
Egypt.
pretty damn tough, if you ask me, because the clock only runs for 1 minute. So if you hesitate at all during these traffic sections, you're risking getting to the goal with not enough time. So you don't always make it. But it looks like Silver's just ahead by a little bit into this next level. And Sandshark will be finishing up here with 13 seconds to spare. Good job.
Ooh, that was close, yeah.
Now, look, I just want to pay attention to here. Can you take a look at Froggy relative to the size of the cars? That is scary. If I was in my car, I'd just run out. But it also makes me realize I know why the chef is running after Froggy, because he is prime frog.
That's
And,
beef.
oh no, that's a freeze. I do not want to get that freeze. Oh, thank goodness.
My
Oh my
goodness.
God.
Wow,
I
you
decided
waited for that.
Yeah, I decided to gamble and hopefully to disappear about it before a car hit me, and thankfully just in time, so the waiting paid off there.
Yeah, but the size of Froggy in relation to the cars, it's just, I don't know, I'd be scared. I don't know about you, but I would be scared.
Yes. That's
It's
a little too
no
beefy.
wonder that the chef wants to get Froggy specifically. If Froggy is a big frog like that, that's, prime frog legs for sure.
All right, now I'm in the gauntlet. Now this one is very RNG based. If I can't find a good set of 3 logs to start with, I may opt to take a quick death just to reset everything. So I'm just gonna suss it out here. All right, I might be able to make this work. Maybe not. Okay. Now this gives Andrew the opportunity to catch up, because if he gets a good setup, he might be able to go ahead of me here. But I've got 10 seconds left.
Well, 10
Ooh,
fake
yeah.
seconds. Oh, come on. Surely you can...
You got this.
Oh, no, I don't. I don't. No,
Wait.
I'm gonna run out of
Yeah.
time. Oh
no, you got
Oh
the
my
lead.
gosh.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
over.
yes.
So unfortunately, Silver is going to have to redo this level. And the logs, as they said, are RNG, so it can be really tough waiting for a correct section of logs to cross. But right now, Sandshark is getting into another one of the tightrope levels. So there's not much to this level. You just have to wait for the logs and make sure you stick to the grass, and you just follow along the maze, and it will be all good.
I think I'll
Unlike
also...
the next level.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, next level after this is bad. But I think it's some time to talk about. We're actually using a modified version of the game, courtesy of one of the people in our Discord, Jummy. And this version of the game, normally you have 5 lives and it counts down. You get 0 lives, you get game over. But we modified the game so we have unlimited lives just for marathon safety. So thank you very much to Jummy for doing that for us.
Yeah.
This makes the race a bit safer. But now, what's not safe is this level, Froggy's Worst Nightmare. And Tippy, I'll just let you explain why this is a literal worst nightmare.
This level is very frustrating because you pretty much have to sit and wait. Oh, Sandshark, there's a water walking power up
Yeah,
just
it's right
in
there. I
view.
can't get there.
It's so
Yeah.
close yet so far. So this level can be frustrating because, sometimes you won't get a log spawning and you're just sitting there on the tile waiting and waiting. So it's really anybody's game with this one. I think this is an interesting level to see who will come out on top after this particular level.
And you
I
might be wondering.
noticed.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to say, you might be wondering, why is there rain on my screen and not Sandshark's? Well, the rain on each level, it's random. It does nothing. It's just a bit of a diversion. I don't know.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, it's completely random.
Fun facts. Now, I was meaning to ask both of you, is there a set path for this level? Or do you kind of just wing it
We usually go towards the center.
towards the center?
I probably shouldn't have done that, but that's all right. There's several paths you can take, actually.
Okay, yeah.
There's no one that's faster than the other in our experience, but we do try and stay towards the middle.
So while Silver is finishing up this water level,
Why did I do that? I meant to take it to the side. It's all right. I just had a brain explosion there. That's all right.
Oh, that's okay.
There we go.
Right now, Sandshark is, what is this level? The highway?
The highway, yes.
The highway, yes. And so this one, Froggy is heading, I guess, towards the camera in a lot of instances. So they're just introducing that mechanic. And for here in this section, Sandshark's gonna have to wait for a break in traffic, but luckily it's like pretty straightforward. Once the break in traffic happens, Froggy's usually good to go. And while we're passing it, I guess shout outs to Gangsta Rambo. Which is graffitied on that car for some unknown reason. Maybe the devs can tell us.
So you notice in this lane here, you might be wondering, you got to worry about getting hit by a car? No, on this last lane, I think the devs forgot to program the traffic. So Froggy's just got free reign to basically keep up with the cars at breakneck speed here. And finish towels here.
Nice,
And
yeah.
can we just take a moment to appreciate the soundtrack? I'm just bobbing my head to this. This is amazing.
Yeah, I'm bobbing my head because the soundtrack 20 years later, nothing tops it. But anyway, we're on to sorry, no frogs allowed. And you can see by the plethora of no frogs allowed signs, but we do not read those signs because we're a frog and we don't care what the signs say. This is another tightrope level, but you also need to time your jumps well with the traffic.
Oh, and I hope you've been enjoying listening to this hopping sound, because you're going to be hearing it a lot more.
You had the same wavelength I did, Silver, because I was going to say that this little hopping sound, I think actually, in my experience, helps time the input. So when you're going around a tightrope level like this, you're able to kind of preemptively put in your input so that you know where you're about to be headed. And I listen to the sounds. I think probably the both of you listen to the sounds as well, and it helps a lot.
It does give us a good idea of when exactly we should press our arrow keys.
It just takes a little bit of practice, but the two of you are experts, so no big deal.
I'd argue I'm the bigger expert than him, but I guess we still have a bit of the race to go.
I'm curious what the predictions ended up at.
I guess we'll find out after the race.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. Downtown, in about a few levels' time, is where the boys turn the men.
It's true.
Oh, okay.
It's a very tough level.
It really is. All right. Now I'm in Froggy Goes Urban. Probably the best soundtrack in the game. I'm just going to hop around when I get those three lanes of traffic go really fast. I just got to wait for a break for it and go.
Nice.
Going up the right.
Oh, actually, I've got walk on water here, but it doesn't help too much because you still have to go through the lanes of traffic. So I'm actually not going to hop on the water just to be safe. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that some levels walk on water doesn't help. This is one of them. So, all right.
Especially late in that level.
All right. Again, we have a plethora of no frogs allowed signs here, more than the other levels. But again, Froggy is so defiant, and we do not listen to not even listen. We don't even look at those signs at all. Good work. Another tightrope level here. So again, we'll use the sound cues of the hopping to just prime my next move. Because when Froggy hops one tile, that means you can immediately press the next key to prime your next move. So for this level, for this game, rather, the main speed tech is just memorizing the layouts of all the levels and making sure you have the movement down pat, because you really want to make sure it's a complete unbroken chain of movement.
Exactly.
All right, now I'm on the exact same level. Sandshark, I wish you quote unquote luck with downtown. That's all I can say. But I just hope you can fail. Go on.
I will let you do the explaining for downtown because I'm going to have to concentrate here.
No problem. So as I mentioned, Sandshark's heading into downtown, which is notoriously the hardest level in the game. And that is because traffic goes very quickly in north-south directions. So you can't always see like when a car is coming, and you have to just kind of pray and like send it. So that's one death downtown for Sandshark. Let's cross our fingers for this one. And I think... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, probably the most, I guess, the best power-up you could ask for here is maybe a traffic freeze, so you could kind of weave your way to the exit. But Silver is heading to downtown as well, so good luck.
Thank you. I'm going to have to, I don't know. Are you kidding me? And I'm not getting that angel tattoo if I lose. No way.
I jokingly...
Oh, that was so close.
That was close.
Now I'm slightly ahead.
I jokingly said that the loser of this race would have to get the frog angel tattoo, but I don't know. I don't know if the gents are about it.
I don't know if I'm willing to commit to that.
Are you kidding me? I was.
Oh my goodness!
It's okay.
All right, we're both at the exact same place now here.
Yes, it's anybody's game at this point.
Grab your popcorn. It might be a while.
Yeah. And again, they did say that they're using y'all are using the infinite lives, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because this level is such a run killer, it's just safer for like the race and the marathon to do infinite lives because you can be on point with the whole game and then downtown comes and messes everything up.
Got it!
Oh,
my
nice,
God, that was
nice.
so close.
I've got the slow power up. I'm going to wait for that to go away.
That was
I was
close.
this close to be demolished by that truck, but I got it. All right, Silver,
all
best
right.
of luck.
Yeah, good luck.
All right.
Oh, it's just that the timing there is so...
Hold
Good luck, Silver.
Got it!
Nice work. Good work.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, the race is still on.
This is actually a close race after downtown. This is so rare. I would not have it any other way, though. Oh, boy. I might not talk much now. I need to concentrate. I am not losing this.
Okay, well,
The sweaty
Sandshard
gamers.
is focusing. Silver is headed onto one of the other levels where you are kind of going towards the camera, which I think are kind of tricky, but the goal is pretty close in sight on both of these levels. Sandshark's having to weave through the traffic of this one, and as I said,
gonna
it's
get that
tough
power
to
up.
it's tough to see. That's what the freeze power up. You don't want to freeze traffic here because you might get stuck or blocked in.
Ooh, that was close. That was close. I should not have risked that. I got it though. It's fine. Whew. Oh my goodness.
But aside from freeze, there is also a haste power up, which I feel like could be a help or a detriment, depending on how you look at it, if you're comfortable going fast. Okay, so, all right, nice job, Silver. Sandshark, waiting for these RNG logs to pass by. And these logs can be tricky too, because if you get stuck on a log and there's no log to jump to, it'll just throw you off the log and you'll have to restart the level. So it's kind of just a waiting game. Oh,
got haste.
Speaking of haste, here we go.
Yeah, so hop a lot faster.
Yeah, it does. I think it does help on some of the fast logs,
Yeah,
but
it
it is scary to use.
It is. Yeah, I'm gonna be patient here and just wait for a good one. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was close.
Ooh,
This
that was
level is
risky.
called Final Countdown, but it is not the final level.
Yeah, it is odd.
All right,
Okay.
I'm now heading into the last level, Bahamas. You might notice I didn't really realize how the Bahamas looked. I didn't realize it looked like this, but a bit more log RNG in this level. And when I ever hit the last tile here, it'll be time. But I'll do some explaining, Tippy, while I concentrate.
Sure, yeah. So it still could be anyone's game. We're basically waiting for the logs on this last level, and it is painfully slow when you just want to finish the game. So right now, I guess, yeah, Silver is heading into the final level, and for Sandshark, the goal is in sight, but we'll see if any of these logs can... oh, nice one. It can cooperate.
So close. I think I got this. So I'll say time when I get it. Yeah, I think I got the good spawns.
Can you just jump in the
and-
water, please?
No. Time!
Sorry.
Oh, no.
I am victorious!
Sandshark is the winner, but Silver is really close behind, so we're just waiting for a couple of these logs. Come on, logs. And the game doesn't have a very good, I guess, ending screen. You know, you beat the whole game and then it just sends you right back to the beginning. So
The
I don't
reward
know.
for completing the game is playing the whole game all over again. You're in an
Exactly.
infinite loop of 3D Frog Frenzy.
All right,
So
time's going to be coming up for me really soon when I hit the last pink block, and time.
Good job. Insert the fanfare here because the game doesn't have it.
Good job, Sandshark.
All right, so-
I couldn't have asked for a closer race. That was actually really, really close.
Yeah, I think we both played pretty well there, and especially on downtown, those last 3 lanes are just so tough. But
yeah.
I think while we're getting to the end, there are a couple of things in this game I did kind of want to show off. They have some inbuilt cheat codes, if that's okay with you, Conception.
Yes, feel free. I would love to see some cheat codes.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so basically, you press Control Shift, and I think the main 2 ones are Control Shift T. That completely pauses the timer up in the top right as well. So you can just go levels at your leisure. And also, here's one of the other power-ups. You can see how much faster you move with haste. And I should mention
yeah.
the power-ups are completely random. So the top times of this game, it is unfortunately a bit reliant on getting some good RNG. So in my second place run, basically I got Walk on Water in the last part of downtown, which saves so much time. You go Control Shift T again. it basically starts the timer. If you do Control-Shift-I, Froggy can just walk right through cars and stuff. So Froggy has nothing to worry about. He still can't swim,
water.
though. Yeah, he still can't swim. But
It's
he's
a decent way to
invincible.
practice, though, with invincibility on. That way you can kind of get the hang of the level layouts. So, Sandshark, if you want to plug the community for anyone that's potentially interested in running the game.
I
just
definitely-
one more thing. Sandshark, can you show the level?
I will, yes. There is one more cheat I would like to show you. And if you
sure.
get really, really ragey out of level and you want to skip it, Control-Shift-L, level completed.
I love how the tile, wherever you are, just lifts up. Like, you know what? Fine. We're done.
And I will. And one last
We
little
actually
thing
have sorry for interrupting. We actually have a dedicated category in the leaderboards where you do every level except downtown because downtown is terrible. So that's where we take advantage of that cheat. So I guess that is kind of useful. And one more thing I should probably also mention for people who are wondering, well, what do the gray diamond power-ups do? The gray ones are completely random. They could be any power-up or power-down, just in case you were confused. But I think that pretty much explains all the mechanics. Oh, and that's the 1 ton weight if you die.
I think there was one more thing I want to explain. So in the normal version of the game, you'll notice it says bonus 10 times how much time you end up having on the timer. The more you do, the more bonus points you get. It'd normally be up on the top left-hand side, but we have that counting how many times we've died. But when you look at that, it doesn't actually multiply the time. So the 10 times is there for no reason. You just ignore that mathematical equation completely. So that's quite interesting there.
Wish you could apply that to real life. Just ignore
I
all
honestly wish I
mathematical
could-
equations.
Yeah, just dismiss all mathematical equations. I wish I could do that. But I think that basically sums it up for 3D Frog Frenzy. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you for everyone who cheered us on, for everyone who predicted. And big thank you to Conception for having us on. And also to my twin brother, my partner in crime. I know you finished just behind me, but you will still always be my awesome identical twin brother. And don't worry, we will face off in many more speed games to come to try and keep leveling the scores. I have the upper hand for now, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes in the future.
Thanks, bro. Couldn't have asked for a better race, putty.
I'll give you an air handshake or an air hug. I'll give you an air hug.
Can you coordinate like a webcam high five?
Yes, we can do
Which
that.
way do you go?
I don't know what direction I'm facing.
You don't. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Well, boom. All right, we got the high
Nice.
five. Okay, and also, if you are interested in speedrunning this game, we do have a Discord. We have all the resources you need to get the game set up because it is a bit old. It's harder to operate on newer computers. But if you go to speedrun.com/3DFF, you'll be able to check out the leaderboards and the Discord. Despite the RNG, this game is just so much fun to run. We all meme about in the Discord. We actually do have a little bit of strategy. I've spent an hour on like one of the last levels trying to see if there's a more consistent strategy. But, either way, it's just so much fun. So I think that's about all it from my end. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll just also big thank you to Smooth Operative for joining us on commentary. You've been a fantastic host. And be sure to check out her Hotfix show, Time Capsule. If you could just give that a plug as well, if you're more happy to.
Yeah. So Time Capsule is every other Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and we usually just pick a year in gaming and show off games from that specific year. So there won't be an episode this Tuesday, but there will be an episode next Tuesday for games from 2019. So I hope to see you then. Silver, you want to say anything?
Look, I just want to wrap up by saying, first of all, thank you again, Conception, for having us. This was so much fun. Sandshark, thank you, bro. Love ya. Smooth, thank you so much. And I want to thank all of you for watching. This is a silly game, but we've loved running it all the same, and I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we loved running it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. And I just want to say one thing. If you did enjoy this race, please make sure you follow Sandshark and Silver Moonlight here on Twitch, and you can find probably more sibling rivalry with 3D Frog Frenzy in the future. But I'll hand it over to whoever would like to take the torch for now. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Wow, you all made that so easy for me because you just did all of the plugs and the announcements. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that. Yes, what an incredible race. I mean, I could not have asked for a better one. Well done to Sandshark and Silver Moonlight. Incredibly close race that really took it down to the last level. Well done. For everybody out there, we are going to take a quick break while we get set up for our second game here in the animalistic theme. But don't worry, feel free to get up, stretch it out, maybe dodge traffic if that's your thing. And we will see you here in a few short moments with our second animal game of the evening. All right, welcome back to Awfully Silly. I hope you all enjoyed that incredible and super close race of 3D Frog Frenzy. Again, the first race we've ever had on Awfully Silly. Could not have asked for a better one or a closer one. So well done to both Sandshark and Silver Moonlight for that. Before we get started with our second animal game on the schedule here, wanted to remind everybody, of course, that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support the Games Done Quick hotfix content. So if you are enjoying that, please consider subscribing, especially if you're enjoying some Awfully Silly content or any hotfix content throughout the week or the weekend. We really appreciate it. Additionally, just as a reminder, if you happen to be in the Boston area this week and are attending PAX East, Games Done Quick is going to be returning to PAX East this year. Now, the dates are March 23rd through the 26th, and be sure to check out the speedrun stage if you're interested in watching some speedruns or playing through the gauntlet. We'd love to see you. So feel free to come on by. But now, this next game I'm very excited for. I've wanted to have this one on my show for quite a long time because it's just so unique and so special and different for a speedrun, but it still really fits in the animal theme because, of course, it is Lassie, the famous dog, and it's going to be run by demonic robots. All yours whenever you're ready.
All right. Hey there, everybody. My name is Demonic Robots, and welcome to Lassie. This was a licensed PS2 game that was released in 2007. And it's a game. It was a European exclusive title, which is very rare. Usually, if they are like in Europe, they're Europe and Japan. This was European only. And yeah, so the story of this is going to be we're playing as Lassie, the titular character that everyone knows and loves, and we're going to be saving our pups from the evil Eddie Hines. So we're going to be doing a bunch of levels to get them back, and we're going to get started. So time is going to begin after we skip this cutscene and when we get into the gameplay. As you can see, Lassie was just not Joe's dog. She was his best friend in the whole world. He's going to be completely irrelevant throughout a majority of the game. But you don't have to worry about that. We're going to get started right here. Lassie's on the trail. So we're going to be going through every single level in this. And it's going to be starting out as it's a very fast-paced run. So, this is one of those blink and you miss it kind of games. Time is going to start when we click continue right here. So we'll give a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. So right now, our first pup has been taken. We are going to be following the evil Hines' truck tracks. And we got some platforming here. As you can see, just kind of some of the best platforming, rivaling Mario. And we're going to move through here. So this is the main mechanics of the game. It's going to be moving and grabbing these purple bones, which is going to allow us to get a speed boost. I know they look like, like what you lift weights with at the gym, but they are not that. They're in fact dog bones. And yeah, this is going to be a majority of the gameplay. We can jump, we can bark, and that's about it.
That's all you need. I mean, if you're a dog, what else do you need? Nothing.
Exactly. And some great chase music that definitely doesn't loop very long at all. There is no time limit, by the way, or anything like that. The game is just really likes to be dramatic. More platforming. I have to kind of mention that Lassie kind of doesn't really move at a proper, three-directional angle. It's very much like you're a tank. So I can't really turn on a dime very easily. So if I miss something, I kind of have to do this like when you would do in a car where you'd have to kind of loop back around a little bit. But yeah, we are getting towards the end of this level. Every single level has a unique location, and for the most part, it has a unique gameplay mechanic in the sense of getting to point A to point B in a different way. Got a few more of these, another little speed boost. These are really useful for the run. And there we go. There is our first pup. Well done, Lassie. And that is our first one. So that is the first level complete. We get a little cutscene showing, hey, we did it.
All those speed bones. All the speed bones. I feel like they built this game for speed running. Like there was like 4 of them in there. It's like they wanted you to speed through it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot through the game, so I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they just didn't want you to play the game that long. I don't know. But we're on the second level here. This is a really good one. It really shows off the technological prowess. Remember, this is a 2007 game. I'm pretty sure Half-Life Episode 2 was out. I'm sure there's a lot of other really good games that came out in 2007. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I just want you to remember that this is a 2007 game. So we're running this usually at 25 FPS, which was the kind of the standard for the time for the European console versions. And yeah, that definitely does not stay here for very long. In this area, we are lucky to get 10 FPS, maybe 15 if we're feeling it. Yeah, we got some more downhill sledding. I'm avoiding all the grassy patches while trying to grab the speed boost as much as I can. This game doesn't make it easy to grab them, but we do need to grab one of the blue bones. The reason we need to do that is we need at least 2 of them, but we already have 1. So we will be grabbing one of those on our way down.
Are all the bones in set spots most of the time, or are they randomized every time you play?
Yes, they are in exactly the same spots, thankfully.
Cool.
So it makes it really easy.
Yes, that's nice.
Be sliding down this hill. This can get a little bit scary. You can't really die here, but if you go down the wrong path, very bad things happen. So we're going to be trying to avoid that if possible. And there is our second bone. Awesome. We're going to get a little glitch here. I thought this was just my copy for the longest time, and then I saw another runner and their copy did the same exact thing, so that was kind of a relief. For whatever reason, we're going to get a weird audio bug. It's not going to be too loud or anything, but it is going to be noticeable when we run into our pup right here. It's just going to kind of hang here for a minute. But yeah, that was the second level. As you can see, though, this game runs beautifully on the PS2, you know. This console, you know, not very powerful, could only run Metal Gear Solid 2 at 60 FPS, but, you know, trying to run Lassie at more than 20 frames on that level, literally impossible.
Asking too much. Yeah, that's...
But to be fair, you know, this game looks amazing. Like, you know, I can't really blame the devs. They made an absolutely graphically intensive game. This looks like a PS3 one to me, honestly.
Yeah, I would say so. It looks like vaguely cel-shaded at parts, which I think is kind of a stylistic choice that was more emblematic of that era, probably.
Exactly. So now we're going to be doing some sheep herding. So we need to get the red sheep into the red areas, and then we need to do the yellow ones as well. Normally the game wants you to do the white and the blue ones too in another area. However, we're going to be doing the only real speedrun skip of the game on this level to avoid doing that, which is really nice. So yeah, you get to enjoy this really nice music as we kind of get this randomly, it's honestly RNG here. So the way that you like herd sheep in this game is basically you just kind of have to get behind them, and whatever angle they're at is the exact angle that they do. Go. So we're gonna get those guys over there, and then we want this sheep to be kind of nearby. So we need to talk to this guy, but we need to be careful because if we get a sheep stuck on him, he will not be able to open the gate, which will soft lock us. We want to keep that sheep just kind of right about there. We don't want it to interrupt his walk cycle. And now that that's open, we're going to be leading this sheep over to a specific spot, and we're going to actually jump on it in order to get through the level a little bit more quickly. So this jump can be kind of weird. This game, again, has amazing platforming, but, you know, this jump is still a little difficult, so hopefully we can get it quickly. And we got it first try.
Let's
awesome.
go.
And there is our next pup. So, yeah, that was the third level. Conception, let me ask you a question.
Please.
Are you a fan of Metal Gear Solid or Splinter Cell?
More Metal Gear Solid than Splinter Cell, but yes.
Gotcha. But you're a fan of stealth games, you know?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Perfect. This is going to be the level for you. This is the Great Escape. So this is the only level in the entire game that has a significantly different camera perspective than the rest of the levels. And what we're going to be doing here is we have a stealth mission. We will have to stealth past a bunch of guards to get to our pup and lead them out of here.
Any boxes to hide in, or...
Sadly not,
oh,
but
darn.
we got some bad luck there. Can I jump over this? Let's see. Cannot. It's okay. I'm just going to lead them around. Don't worry about this. This is perfectly okay. Perfectly normal. This is like one of the few areas that actually has a lot of RNG to it, is these guards trying to grab us. Hopefully they lose us in time, but we're gonna take a specific path over here. Thankfully, if we get caught, we do just end up back here with our pups. So if that does happen, it isn't that big of a deal. But now we have our pup. Now we have to lead this little guy out of here. He does run faster than the rest of them. However, he is much slower than us. So the main thing that we want to avoid happening is we want to avoid a guy right like this getting in between our pups. And ooh, this is some bad luck, but we should be okay. Okay, he got stuck on the bush. I am also taking very large turns because otherwise the pup will get stuck. And you can guess that that is not a very good thing. Those guys can also jump over those, but we're okay. Oh, getting some lag. You know, that's pretty normal. Again, this game cannot run past 10 FPS reliably. But that was actually pretty good. We had a bit of a hiccup early on, but overall we made it through without any big issues.
I had to point out something there, which was the icon that pops up in the top right of those guys in that little bar that kind of drains. That same bar is like the RuneScape health bar. I'm pretty sure it looked like this. Really? It looked like the same one. Old school RuneScape. I haven't played newer ones, but it looked like the same bar.
This is 2007, so yeah. It's possible.
Borrowing of asset and EU specific. Jagex is in England, I think, right? I'm not sure.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right, so now we are in the mines. This is one of the more kind of boring levels, I guess, because, you know, all the rest of them are so exciting. So we're going to be looking down here. As you can see, when I look up, the FPS, you know, it doesn't really handle these next-gen crystals very well. Also, we're going to do a little bit of a coyote jump right there as we're running through. So this level has some RNG to it. I know that's very surprising. But yeah, we get a different path that we need to take. So we can either go left or right. And if my memory serves correctly, left is slower. So of course we're going to get that, but that's okay. But yeah, we need to go through this. And even though it is the same exact gameplay and style of the original, the first level, I should say, it's also just, you know, much more calm and relaxed versus the super epic beginning that the original had. But yeah, you know, it's very peaceful. This is usually where I do my donation ratings, but we don't need to do any donations. So I'm just gonna ask, how has your day been, Conception?
Oh, how has my day been? Well, I woke up at 4-ish this morning in San Francisco, and then I took a plane back here. I was on a work trip, and then yeah, so it's been a very long day, but I've been looking forward to these runs all day, so I am now feeling quite content.
I'm really glad to hear that.
How are you? How are you?
I am doing well. We are just about to find our pup right here. I thought I could make that jump. I don't actually think you can do that, but oh, hold on. Go. And bam. That is our pup, and now we are going to the final level, and we got bad news. Joe, who is our human companion, has been kidnapped by the evil Eddie Hines. I don't know why. I don't think there's really a lore reason other than it just happens. If you're wondering, by the way, the reason that Lassie's pups were stolen is because Lassie was mean to Eddie and he wants to sell them for a profit. And I don't know why he wants Joe, but he has brought him to an abandoned castle. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to make some friends. As you can see there's another dog. He's kind of mean, but we're going to offer him a bone, and now he is loyal to us. So he's going to be helping us out later on. You're going to see me take really wide turns, and the reason for that is because if I don't take super wide turns, what ends up happening is these guys will get stuck. They're basically the kind of the opposite in terms of AI of the sheeps, where they will run directly away from you. These guys will just directly follow you. So if your corners are too sharp, it'll end up kind of just getting stuck there, which is not great. Go. Now we have 2 of them, so those are the 2 bones that we needed to grab earlier. Again, we get some very happy music, which I feel like we should have got something more dramatic here, because, you know, again, there's a human child on the line, but, you know, it's fine. Lassie's gonna save the day. So
it's
the
hard.
reason that we need these 2 extra dogs with us, and one of them got stuck, we need to go back around. Again, this happens very often. There we go. The reason we need these 2 dogs is because we actually need them to stand on 2 different pressure plates. So we're going to lead one over here. I'm going to tell him to stay. And now Eddie Hines is going to be in this area, and he is going to be chasing after us. Thankfully, he is extremely slow and can't get stuck. We want him to kind of follow us up the stairs, but it looks like he got stuck, which isn't that great, but we can work with it. Bring the dog over this way. Tell him to stay. Now we're going to go back for Eddie, who gets kind of stuck on geometry very easily. There we go, Eddie.
Over there just walking into blocks. Yep.
And we need to lead him into a trap. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to make sure that he's following close by. And bam. That is Eddie down. So now we just need to get our puppy, and time is going to be coming up here in a moment. We got a little jump that we can do here. Save some stair walking. And wait for it. Time.
I also just had to have a laugh at the end there when the trap door opens like a full 2 seconds before. Like, he could have just stopped.
Oh, yeah. He had plenty of time to stop, but thankfully he didn't. Hines gave up. We saved our pups. We saved Joe, and we saved the day. And now he gets arrested and goes to prison, and we enjoy being a happy family together.
Well, it has a nice heartwarming ending. I love that.
Oh, yeah, it's great. And speaking of great, you know what's also great is you, Twitch chat. You're amazing. And you know what? This game knows it because you are actually in this game as well. As you can see, not only is there a pup named Twitch, but they even have the Twitch purple as their collar. So, you know, I think these people were just ahead of their time with this game. I don't know, but you guys are amazing. And you know what? We get to do some really cool stuff with Twitch, you know, other than streaming, of course. You know, we can feed Twitch. We can give them some water. We can do an exercise where they run around. Look at that. Isn't that just the most adorable thing in the entire world? We get a special meal. I don't know what's the difference between a regular one and a special one. Oh, it gets up on its hind legs. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? We get a special drink as well. Look at that. How great is that? Gets all excited. Again, I don't know what's in the special drink. And we get a special play where looks like it's just completely broken. Oh, I don't have enough bones. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's okay. We brush it. Trust me. I know it's very surprising, but you are not missing anything from us not doing the special play. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This is a lovely game. You should never, ever play it. You know, usually I tell people if they want to speedrun the game, if they're interested, to go check out the game and check out the boards. Don't speedrun this game. It's not good, but it was very fun to show off for you guys. And I appreciate Conception having me on here.
Of course. Thank you for being here. I can't tell you how many times people are like, don't speedrun this game, maybe, at the end of my show. That happens quite often. But I appreciate it. Like I said, I've been wanting to get this game on for a while because it's just so goofy and endearing, and I love it. So thank you for being here. For the people out there, for example, if you happen to be watching on YouTube somewhere in the future, feel free to like and subscribe for this video as well. But also, why don't you come on down in the comments of YouTube and tell us a little something here, maybe a little bit about what your dog's name is and what kind of dog they are. We love dogs. I love dogs. I have a pug. His name is Jabba. I love him. So, let us know. I would love to hear about your dogs. But for now, we're going to take a bit of a break here while we get ready and set up for our third and final game, believe it or not, of Awfully Silly tonight. But feel free to stretch yourself out, collect any pups that you might have missing, defeat anyone named Hines, and we'll see you on the other side of this break in a few moments. All right, welcome back to Awfully Silly, everyone. We're going to try this one more time. Now, if you're just joining us, we have a very animalistic theme for tonight's episode, and we're getting ready for our final run here. Just are joining us, 3D Frog Frenzy by Sandshark and Silver Moonlight was an excellent race. Then we followed that up with an incredible run of the European exclusive Lassie for PS2 by Demonic Robots. And finally, our final run is by the Intrepid Punchy running Super Lesbian Animal RPG. So why don't we go ahead and take it away?
Hello, I'm Punchy. This definitely isn't the second take of this because There definitely wasn't a thing that happened.
I don't think so.
This is Super Lesbian Animal RPG. I have just cycled several miles from work to get here on a rush. That is definitely not the reason we are having to do this over, because we kind of quickly skipped past audio check. Anyway, we'll start the run again. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Oh boy. Okay. So this is Super Lesbian Animal RPG. It is precisely what it sounds like, a turn-based RPG about lesbian animals, which are super. Takes place on the Sapphire Islands, named so for exactly the reason you're thinking. I am really just going to repeat the whole spiel.
That's all right. We didn't get that far in, so I can go for it again.
I'm going to repeat the whole spiel. Anyway, game starts here with our two protagonists, Melody and Allison, in the woods at night, as women are wont to do. And I have to immediately open the options to change the default walk speed to sprint. There is no compelling reason to walk in this game, but RPG Maker games insist on defaulting your movement speed to walk anyway. They all do it. I don't know why. I think it might be baked into the program. Would not surprise me. Okay, so we meet our friend in the woods. This is Claire. She is a witch. And we are out here doing dark rituals in the woods. But we would like to gain magical powers. I'm given to understand this is how most sleepovers work. I wouldn't know. Sadly, I am a dude. We are attacked by the first enemy of the game, the behemoth boar. We don't actually have any meaningful way to interact with this first fight. It's mainly meant to demonstrate that right now, Melody and Allison suck at fighting. That miss is slightly faster than getting hit, though. Fortunate RNG. I actually didn't know that guy could miss. That's new. So we're just going to guard until Claire shows up and scares it off with a fireball. Claire can actually do magic. She has an MP bar, you see. That's how it works. So now, Claire's going to do the ritual, and we are going to gain magical powers. Because apparently the way magic works in the game setting is that it is a thing you can sort of like train in, but you can also sort of do dangerous ritual things to sort of jumpstart it. And that's what we're doing. We're deciding to shortcut to the good part. And now we're in Kingdom Hearts. This is Dive to the Heart. Like, unironically, we're about to pick our class specification. We're about to pick between, like, sword, shield, and magic. It's not quite that, though.
I see a Disney character here. I'm going to revolt.
So our three specifications here are, like, Woodland Paladin, Amorous Paladin, and Resolute Paladin, I think. So it's, like, hippie, gay, or confident. I went with gay. Realistically, it doesn't matter that much, but the gay skill is ever so slightly more useful in a fringe scenarios. And with our magic power, Melody is going to start an adventuring guild with her friends. Melody is a pink trans fox girl, which is the only way I could think of to order those like adjectives in a way that made sense. Because fox pink trans girl sounds like it's not quite right, and trans fox pink girl doesn't sound anything close to correct. And now I can do magic and beat stuff up. So right now, Melody is kind of limited to just hitting stuff with her fists. One shot, that's nice. Melody is not much of an attacker. She is spec'd into healing. She will be the healer for the video game. And consequently, her attacking options right now basically boil down to hit stuff with fist. We're also going to invade enemy encounters. They're all visible on the overlord. This game doesn't have random encounters per se. But you will very often be forced to fight enemies as they block your path. So our goal right now is to find Allison, our girlfriend. This is Jodie. She will be the fourth party member later, but not right now. She is too busy chilling and being generally the only person with her head screwed on straight in the plot. In this run, we only take one optional encounter in the whole game, so generally speaking, evading enemies is like the name of the game with this one. Enemies do like look around and pursue you. This enemy is fixed. This is in the way. You have to fight the hoop snake. This will take either 3 or 2 turns, depending on whether or not Melody crits.
Darn, since we had Behemoth Boar and Humble Hermit, I was wondering if we were going to get all alliterative enemies, but Hoop Snake throws me off that track, so.
Okay, it's a quirky indie RPG, and this is just about the quirkiest of them all, but they don't quite follow a pattern like that. Where are you moving? There we go, moved out the way. There's Allison, we have reunited. Melody demonstrates her healing magic. I have MP a pop, wow. And now they are attacked by the first boss, sort of, Bullhound. So Allison has access to unique abilities where she can attack directionally. She builds star power meter, which is the star above her head, by attacking enemies. Every character builds star power in a different way. The Bullhound goes into the hole, and now it's vulnerable to low kick. Low is like a specific element. It's like down element. Bullhound pops back up. And now it's vulnerable to high kick. And that takes care of that. When it's in the hole, usually it's invulnerable to everything except the low element, so this fight exists to teach you that Allison can do, like, directional moves by spending her star power meter. But, like, specific elements, she's got, like, left jab or whatever. How about a kiss? They have kissed. Fantastic.
I love that cutscene.
Gay thus achieved, we move on. Get out of the way. There we go. Alright, next port of call is to head back to town. And I'm going to live out a personal fantasy. This is Paula, Allison's annoying co-worker. We're going to pointedly not talk to her, as we do not have to. Simply don't talk to your annoying co-workers. It's fantastic. This game has it all.
Video games are escapism. When you can't avoid coworkers in real life, come to video games and avoid them in virtual settings.
We get a free heal off this little cutscene here where they eat cake in a diner, ran by their friend. They chat about their feelings and uncertainties about doing an adventuring guild. Melody suffers with anxiety problems. It's a plot thing. I am forced to summarize this briefly. And now we're going to seek Claire, who is apparently doing something in Allison's basement. And here we find Claire has remodeled Allison's basement into a practice dungeon. This is Claire's idea of fun.
A dungeon.
Claire dooms the planet.
Always sun.
For this is the inciting incident. Claire joined your party as the third wheel. This box contains 2 ethers down here. So we're going to grab that. We're paying attention to the items we get from these early fights because we would like extra ethers if at all possible. Alright, and this first fight actually has a highly specific order. We're going to kiss our girlfriend, because Melody kissing Allison and gives Allison a stat bonus, which makes her do more damage, so I can kill these enemies in 2 hits. If Claire doesn't kill the enemy with Scorch, it actually becomes a secondary, more dangerous enemy that is a dust bunny but on fire, and that will happen because Allison missed. It's on fire!
Oh, terrifying.
That makes it do significantly more damage, which is bad. Good. Useful crit straight after the fact. It also gives less experience when they're on fire, so that can throw a spanner in the works of the early experience routing. Only 1 is fine, though. I can deal with that. This is a dust bunny wearing one of Allison's grindcore t-shirts. It is actually resistant to fire while it is wearing that. So simply beating it up will do the trick. Key number 1. We are seeking 2 keys to complete the practice dungeon here. Need 2 keys.
I already love the writing in this game so much.
There's the second key. Now we're going to fight Big Dust Bunny. Kiss Allison, attack, and Scorch is the order for this, because it is vulnerable to fire. But we also want to build meter with Allison by attacking, because it's also vulnerable to high kick, because the boss, its head is visible. That's kind of getting beat up there. Not a fan of that. I'm going to heal. Right, now that the box is off, they are vulnerable to low element and also fire, inflicting burn, which is handy. Burn will do damage over time, but damage over time effects in this game cannot kill. They can only, it's one of those, it will like tap out at 1. Yo, Melody crit. Does that help? Not really. But it's funny. Okay, first boss down. Everyone should level up off this. Yep, ooh, dropped an Iron Gauntlet. That is not guaranteed, but that will make Melody's punches slightly better. And the reward for beating the dungeon is a nice sword that Claire got as a gift. She's really a thoughtful friend in her own kind of way. But we can't get back out. Claire finds this alarming. I'm going to give Allison her sword. Now she will do all the damage. Allison is going to do all of the damage for pretty much the entire run. That's just sort of her role in the party. She hits stuff. It dies. Meanwhile, we are progressing deeper into a weird part of the cave system we have now found ourselves in. But before we can move on, we are forced to look at Allison's baby photos. If you try and leave without doing this, Melody will remark, oh, I must have spaced out. I was going to check out that treasure chest. And Allison says, and Allison interjects, let's not actually, but no, you have to. You have to do it. It is required. Anyway, reality is now collapsing, as one does. We are in the basement dungeon now, question mark. So we must collect 4 keys to open the center. So the first port of call is going to be the top right, because it contains a skill we will need to make progress. Alright, first fight here. Oh. Kiss Allison and Scorch the Tear in Spacetime. The Tear in Spacetime is actually quite dangerous at this point, because if it corrupts a party member, corruption is basically confusion. That dodge is quite bad. That's rather scary. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, the counter dodge. It worked out. Kind of. Big bunnies are weak to high kick. There we go. Right. The Terror in Spacetime is kind of scary because if it corrupts a party member, it can actually, like, really car crash the run this early. Because we don't actually have the spell that cures corruption at the moment. Now we do. It's Purify. Corruption is essentially this game's version of confusion, but it also gates, like, certain areas, so we need it to get places. And this is the only optional encounter we're going to take in the entire run. This dude. There is an egg. It's a 3 enemy fight, but it gives enough experience that the experience routing works out. Also, this egg has a chance of dropping, well, an egg.
Well, that adds up.
What did I just have Claire do? Punch. Less than ideal. It worked out. But that gives us some experience. We need that for experience routing. We would like Claire to hit level 4 before the boss fight, because then she learns Frost, which is the boss's weakness. That is the only time where, like, advanced level grinding is worth it. And it's 1 fight, so not much of a grind. I hit the Windows key! I hit the Windows key! Less of this.
Key that ruins many a speedrun, or...
This attack, Scorch Egg. Always Scorch Egg. So this mobile whorehound is going to retract into its pants after 1 hit. That is a sentence I get to say out loud. At which point it becomes vulnerable to low element. Allison low kicks it, it dies. Claire should be level 4 after the next fight. Should be. Another Terror in Spacetime. This one's a bit less scary because now I've got the spell that can cure corruption if it actually happens to stick it. It's not very likely that it does. No, it's gonna die. Scorch doesn't miss. And Claire has no mana. She has run out completely. Low kick. Oh wow, that didn't kill. Damage range. He's thinking about his pants though. Good for him. Right. Yep. Claire levels up, and I got a spare ether. Very nice. Claire eat 2 ethers, or she needs the mana. She is very mana hungry. Claire is very high maintenance in this speedrun. She is the bane of my existence. Fun fact, in this game, Claire will never ever wear, like, defensive headgear because she likes her hat too much. Like, that's the stated reason for why she can't put a helmet on. So, she will have poor defense for pretty much the entire run.
Classic mage behavior.
Literally, she draws power from her aesthetic. Okay, now we're gonna go straight to the boss. Not gonna heal, just gonna go playing the game. Claire has mana, that's all I care about. Poor Guardian. This fight is relatively straightforward. We're just gonna have Allison attack and do high kick when she has meter. Meanwhile, Claire will cast Frost, and I'm gonna hope it procs Freeze, because then it will skip the enemy's turn. Or it could crit, that's fine too. I'm okay with that. Not right jab, high kick. There we go. That's bad. That's corruption. Fortunately, we have the spell that can cure that, but that might waylay me by some turns. Because when a party member comes out of corruption, they just kind of do their basic attack, and Claire's is bad. She can't hit anything. The girl has absolutely no protein. Can't hit anything with physical moves. And then it goes shield form. If this goes well and corruption doesn't happen like that, normally you don't ever actually even see shield form. But it died on the next tier, that's fine. That is a-okay. Everyone levels up. This is the kind of game where on level up everyone restores their health, but they do not crucially restore their MP. That matters. Take notes. There will be a test on this later.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I wonder why ethers are so important then.
Yep. Especially for plot reasons as well, it will come up. This is Jarvis, a name I don't know how to pronounce. A sentient VHS tape. He wants to scramble the world for reasons that are currently unclear. And then the dungeon is gone. Claire is bothered by this. The other two don't really care. They just kinda want to go home. And so we shall. We shall leave the way we came. And thus concludes the first dungeon of the game. Okay, that sets me up fine for Act 2. The condition at which you end Act 1 is relevant, so I'm considering the options. I've got a spare ether. I would prefer to have more than that, but one will do. Would you like to save my progress? No! I already have backup saves. We briefly take control of Allison here for just sort of a conversation moment, where the two of them, talk about how they think this whole adventuring thing is going. And I'm picking Melody's choices, and I'm basically just mashing through, but I'm also... By mashing through, it's all the confident options. Melody will be confident in this playthrough. He will solve all the problems in record speed.
Oh, wish we could pull that out for real life. Really do.
Just speedrun all of your problems. And anxiety.
Just be
working for me
confident.
so far.
Yeah.
Act 2. There are 5 acts of entirely varying length, so they don't really mean very much as like a marker of progress. Claire has knocked on our door and told us to go to the library, or rather that's Allison's house. Claire uses the library as the guild's headquarters, and the librarian consequently hates her. Anyway, Claire's been drawing a paranoid conspiracy board of all of the things that have been happening. Consequently, she didn't sleep last night. As a result of this, she did not restore mana between the chapter transitions. This is a relevant problem for the speedrun. Because however much mana Claire has at the end of the core Guardian fight is exactly as much as she will have when you start the next bit. You can lose time by going resting, but that's not speed. Now is it? That's why ether drops are important. I talk to Holly real quick. She's a paladin. I'm gonna steal a slightly used staff off her. It will power up Claire's magic. I think the game wants you to use it on Melody. She's the one who's holding it in all of the artwork, but no, Claire gets it. It increases magic, and I want to kill things very quickly, so that's where it's going. Now I'm meeting with Faith real quick, the guardian of the town. She is, appointed to protect the town against, monsters and what have you. It's a local election kind of joint. Also Jodie's girlfriend. We haven't, got Jodie in the party yet, but it's relevant. In fact, of the 4 party members, Claire is the only one who does not have a girlfriend at the moment, because it is part of an optional side quest that I will not do. Claire will remain unloved.
It just means everyone out there has to buy this game, play it, make sure Claire gets love.
Completing it gives you the ability to kiss your girlfriend in combat, which wouldn't be very good anyway, so we don't need it. Alright. Now I'm off out. We're going to buy spell books. 1 Inner Beast, 1 Spellblade. Spell books are suites of skills that can be attached to any character. Auto Allison, Auto Melody, unequip the staff, Auto Claire. That's a menu. So I've equipped Allison with Inner Beast, it gives her stronger physical attacks, and I've got Spellblade on Melody, which can enable you to imbue a character's physical attacks with elemental properties. Which is handy, because Allison's going to be doing pretty much all of the damage. Yes, Allison, attack, thrust. These are frog balls. They get bigger when they take damage, and then they do more damage in turn. Like so. Them attacking Melody is fine. So, a note on character statistics here. Melody is the team healer, sure, and the plot kind of tries to, play her off as being sort of, emotionally sensitive and vulnerable. She's a tank, though. She has lots of health. Generally speaking, enemies hitting Melody is a good thing. She can take it. Because Claire absolutely cannot, and Allison only kinda can.
Paladins, they're tanky.
We are now going to touch orb. The problem that this solves is I haven't actually encountered it yet. We're trying to learn how to melt giant ice cubes. And you may be wondering why Claire, the person who can literally throw fireballs, doesn't just do that. If you try, she'll be like, I don't want to set fire to the surroundings. That is the game's stated reason for doing that. Anyway, we've got some sweet Sun God merchandise. That lets us melt giant ice cubes. Even the holy spots are tourist attractions these days. These guys are frozen in ice. This is why Claire won't do it with a fireball, because she thinks she'll hurt them. These 2 are bards. We're never going to see them again. You can forget about them. And now we climb the mountain. We are currently in search of our missing friend, Jodie. Yes. Thrust. Currently, we're searching for the missing 4th party member. She's gone missing. Chomp also inflicts poison, which is of limited use. Yeah, see, the poison will not kill. If it did, that would be super, but it doesn't quite work like that. And now, money routing becomes a thing, because the amount of gold you get from enemies is ever so slightly random. So I'm picking up that chest of 400 gold to make absolutely sure I hit the threshold. There are, ways around it, even if you don't pick it up. What is this guy doing? Anyway. This door leads to the astral plane. It is a fast travel marker. This needs to be tagged for it to become available. If you don't touch it now, you will live to regret that decision later. As you will, in fact, be forced to make the trip several times over if you don't. So we come in here, tag it to open it, and then we leave straight away. We will be fine. But that is enabled for future use. Okay, so Trash King is a boss. Our first port of call here is to get rid of the bags because they will heal the boss. Allison will do that by chomping on garbage. 444 damage. You love to see it. Claire's Scorch will not quite kill it. Yeah, see, normally it heals and that gets in the way. Chomp and Scorch. So now that we've gotten rid of both of the bags, or Melody's about to get rid of the last one using Gust, it is now basically just a damage race. The boss is uniquely vulnerable to left jab for whatever reason, like left element is the thing that it's weak to. Claire's looking a bit dead. I would prefer her to be slightly less dead. Fortunately, healing moves in this game have like high priority. There is like a speed system in that, you know, character moves come out first, but certain moves also just have like inherently higher priority than others. So heals tend to come out first, but not always. That was actually quite good. The trash bags didn't even respawn in. They didn't have time. Bird's gone. We move on. Mega Potion. That's for safety. And we find Jodie's wallet. Oh dear. She's lost her wallet. Tear of Revival. That's for safety. Tear of Revival is an item that revives a party member with full health. Otherwise, the only character who can revive another party member with a skill is Melody. If Melody dies, you're just kinda screwed, so that's for safety. It's not very likely to occur because Melody is extremely built, but it can indeed occur. Now we're on a floating desert. It's just kind of here. This dude always gives me... No, he turned around. The facing direction of enemies as you try to avoid them on the world map is actually, like, relevant. They will pursue you if they see you, but what constitutes seeing you is a bit loose. This dude, on the other hand, just moves in a predictable pattern. That Mega Ether will come in handy later, for Claire is still extremely mana hungry. Weird cowboy bat dude who we're going to very pointedly not talk to. Okay, now we're actually going to use Flame Blade. The enemies in this fight are weak to fire, so imbuing Allison's attacks with the power of fire. Advantageous. There's also no need to heal in this fight because, well, if I've done my math right, everyone should level up off this fight. On the other hand, that's still... I would like her to not die in the fight. That will cause other problems. Okay, she did level up, though. Now... Claire eats a Mega Ether. I'm going to pick up this treasure chest. This contains the Magical Girl spellbook, which contains full party healing, which is very, very useful. Melody builds her star power meter by healing, or kissing Allison, which is the thing I've mostly done so far for that. You're in the way of the one tile I'd like to be in, bro. Do not want this fight, leave me alone. Fortunately, fleeing from encounters in this game is not random, it has a 100% success rate. I'm gonna have to muscle this dude out of the way, because he once again are standing in the only tile I would like to currently be occupying. Fortunately, you can kind of like push enemies backwards, but they only go back like 2 tiles at a time. So if you're trying to squeeze through like a very particularly narrow hallway, it gets kind of obnoxious. This is a likely outcome of this segment because all the passageways are very narrow and sad. Right. Hiss, attack, thrust, aimed at the robots. The robots can do mana drain, which is less than ideal. Or Allison could just crit. Okay, you can drain Melody, that's fine. He has mana to spare. It's mainly Claire and Allison I don't want drained. Allison's actually going to get, like, mileage out of her meter. That miss sucks.
RPGs. Gotta love that.
Extremely. Extremely. No, why are you draining Allison? It'll be okay, she still has enough. Dive Bomb, Scorch. Dive Bomb is Allison's 2-tiered star power special move. It does lots of damage. It is single hitting. That was kind of messy, but that happens. Before this fight, equip Melody with Magical Girl, because we are going to probably need to do all target healing during this fight. As a trade-off for the main party leader being a healer, enemies in this game hit pretty hard. You gotta stay on top of that kind of thing. Abominable Automaton. Chomp Frost. It's another robot, so it's vulnerable to frost, but not vulnerable to poison. So Chomp is mostly just for damage. Claire gets bopped straight in the nose. More Chomp. It's vulnerable to high kick, so we're going to start doing high kicks and then have Claire attack boost Allison. She learned that skill at level 5. Since Allison is the primary damage dealer, attack boost comes in handy from time to time. Grabs a boulder. We need to get rid of that boulder ASAP, because otherwise it will instantly nuke a party member. Fortunately, Claire can set boulders on fire. And there it goes. Gust is not quite strong enough to do it. It's like 10 damage short or something. It's kind of funny. There's a nice little target heal. This dude has an attack where he can hit every party member at once for like 200 damage, and it's just kind of not happening, so that's nice. Yep, pretty good.
Ah. A little fortuitousness there.
RPGs. They're like that. And here's Jodie. She's fine. She's just like playing in the sand. We get a free heal after that fight, fortunately, so now mana management is no longer really a relevant problem. And Jodie also factory rebooted the robot. Its name is Glyph. She has joined the party as the 4th wheel. I like how Claire is the 3rd wheel and Jodie is the 4th wheel.
Need 4 wheels for a good car.
Exactly. Because Jodie is only party member with everything generally together. Jodie's star power meter is unique. I will get this out of the way now. She builds meter by being hit. So enemies attacking Jodie is generally good because her star power skills are quite good in the late game. And also, she is the party's tank, although right now she's not really a very capable tank because she joins the party at level 1. We are not going to grind her up. That's just going to happen on its own as we go through the game. Into the desert town. It's full of undead elves who like to roleplay as cowboys. They can't actually die, though, because they're undead. As it happens. They're going to help us get into the second layer of the sentient VHS tape dude, and we're going to blow that up. That's the general game plan right now. But first, equipment buying. This is the only bit where you do this. 2 of these, 1 cowgirl hat, 4 right back at your charms, and 2 Chronomancer books. So, a bunch of that was just equipment to make Allison and Jodie do more damage as physical attackers, because while Jodie is the designated tank, she is also pretty capable as an off attacker. Not as much as Allison. Since this is like a story segment, I'm just going to explain the build while this plays out. This is Allison's mum. They're going to have a chat. And the 2 spellbooks we bought 2 Chronomancy spellbooks. Chronomancy is the best spellbook in the game. It gives you access to the move Speed Up, which when applied to a party member means they will take 2 moves with their basic attack instead of the usual 1. But it only applies to basic attacks, so the general game plan at this point in the run is to do Speed Up on Allison and Jodie, and they stab everything to death. It doesn't work on magic spells, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have Claire start nuking everything, but you cannot do that. Not yet, anyway. There are ways around that, but we do not have access to them at the moment. And otherwise, we also bought 4 right back at your charms. The charm is a special equipment slot. They don't really infer stat bonuses, they just have an effect. But the effect that we've landed on for the run is the counter charm. It has a 25% chance of reflecting anything that is considered a physical move. This is good both for just damage mitigation, because it's a 25% chance you just don't get hit sometimes, and it stacks with dodge, so like you can still dodge an attack if counter doesn't proc. Equip Chronomancer to Jodie, auto-equip Allison, auto-equip Jodie, auto-equip Melody, and equip the second Chronomancer to Melody. That's the menu for that. I had to stop talking real fast while I walked through that.
It's not an RPG unless you have to talk through your menu. I'm the same way in any RPG I've ever ran.
I have to talk through it because I can't really look at it while I'm doing it. I just have to like trust I'm doing it right. But yes, the counter charm is good for both damage mitigation because it's a chance you just don't get hit, and also Allison's counters really hurt. So sometimes you can just steal turns if you're lucky, and you will get lucky at some point. It's a 25% chance. It's pretty likely. Although Claire's counters are really sad at this stage of the game because her physical attacks basically don't do any damage. But still, not getting hit is preferable, so it still works out to just kind of give everyone them. Beat up Allison, attack, Frost, attack. This is Color Wheel. Color Wheel's attack is it changes the palette of the characters. There is a random chance of a Homestuck reference in this run, thus immediately killing it, with the sheer power of Homestuck. I did not get RNG Homestuck. This run is golden. Jodie levels, it doesn't actually do anything if you get it. Gonna use this key to access this back room. It occurs to me I forgot to actually give her the counter charm. Put that on real fast. Okay, our first goal here is to turn on the sand switches so we can adjust the sand level. But first, we must help Melody and friends find the treasure. This encounter is one of the only encounters in the game that doesn't actually present a consistent layout. What enemy encounter am I going to get here? 3 dudes, absolutely not. Reset. Fortunately, I can keep re-rolling the encounter until I get something that's less awful. 2 dudes, I will work with that. We will work with this. I can work under these conditions. But a 3-dude pileup is absolutely out of the question. That would take way too long. Even though 2 tears in reality is actually kind of scary. Because they can corrupt the party. Rust. Yeah, that'll do. Fortunately, one of them chose to hit Melody, which is ideal. Melody is actually immune to corruption. I guess because they just thought it would be kind of mean if the only party member who could cure it could also be afflicted by it. Oh, they dropped a Mega Ether. Will I actually get use out of that? Probably not. But, ooh, shiny. Okay, we have now enabled the sand switches and can now clear the dungeon. We did it. Great job. Great job. That room on the left there is totally optional. We're never going to open it. It contains a nice sword. We will get a nicer sword in due time. Alright, this seems like a detour at first, but it will give us a tool that will help us later. There is a chest on this side of the room. It contains a star fruit. It is an item that fills the characters it's used on star power to the maximum. That will not get used for like an hour and a half. But when it gets used, it'll get a lot of use. Since it essentially gives the party like instant access to all of their most damaging abilities. And conveniently, it's right next to this key. Get out of here. These narrow hallways and these dodges. Okay. Halfway point of the dungeon. I could buy potions if I wanted to. I'm going to go with no. I don't think I need to. Things are going okay. It has become a Game Boy game.
Ooh. Love me some
normal
handheld
again.
representation here.
Oh, original Game Boy now. Now the lesbians are super. They're huge. Now they're default. And now I have a key. As if they made, like, just entirely unique overlord sprites, like, for 2 gag rooms, by the way. I know RPG Maker sprites only have, like, what, like 3 frames of animation, but still.
That's beautiful. I appreciate it. That reference felt good for me.
Now we're heading into the back of the Neon Labyrinth. There is one chest full of money I would like here. We're going to make large purchases in the back third. Where is this dude going? Get out of here. Alright, we're going to proceed to the mini-boss of this area, which is the Singularity, which we are going to have Allison and Jody beat to death with their ruby spears. You can technically get them as a random drop, but buying them is like way more consistent, so that's the approach we take. Beat up both Jody and Allison. Fortunately, having Melody and Claire do the chronomancy is very handy because they both have very large mana pools to work with. Jody has 50 mana. She is not cut out for that. But we're going to make her do it anyway as the run, like, grows on. That's crit. Have Melody kiss Allison because then it will increase the damage of her double attack to do even more damage. This should end it this turn if there's no unfortunate misses. Yep, pretty good. Jody levels up off of this, so I don't have to worry about healing her. She gets 2 levels off it, actually. Or she joined at level 1, but that proves to be not much of an issue, because she already has, like, good base HP to start with. So she isn't really at risk of dying here when she first joins. Okay, now we have the ID badges we need to get into the employee meeting happening in the dungeon. And this is one of the few cutscene skips, like, actually implemented cutscene skips in the game. But the way it works is very strange. You have to sort of, like, intentionally back up the global save file with the cutscene skips enabled in order for it to fire off. The way it works is that if you start the fight and then die during it, it gives you the option to just skip straight to the boss. But if you keep the flags, like, saved properly, then you can just do it that way. So doing that, we skip the whole cutscene where the monsters have a meeting and they announce that actually Claire is the reason they're all here because she messed with space-time and they found a way to, like, go through it. Claire ruins everything. Good for her.
Good for her.
I've done this in the wrong order. Can I just do? Yes. Do this. I'm having a hell of a time doing this menu. And help. There we go. There we go. Think it through, and then do it. And now we're fighting a giant gumball machine. It pops out more gumballs as the fight goes on that inflict status ailments. We're mostly just going to ignore them and burst the boss down as fast as we possibly can. All things going well, it should end this turn. Dished out a sick burn. Got it. Yep, that's a standard 3-turn. Jody gains 4 levels off that fight. So now she is pretty much up to speed with the rest of the party, roughly speaking. Melody breaks through the corruption, but at the expense of literally all of her mana. So right now, Melody has 0 mana, so you kind of can't really fight anything if you wanted to do any healing. And then we destroy the dungeon. You cannot come back here. The game prompts you to like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, you really can't come back here. So if you miss stuff, you miss stuff. Right, now we gotta go home, because during that, like, meeting with all the enemies, they announced they're gonna destroy the town that we're from. Our home. So we're gonna go back and stop them with speed up. I find it very fitting that speed up is like the ideal move in a speedrun. To the point where you like stack it as much as you can get away with.
Feels fitting. Feels very fitting.
Have two people doing it. The teleporter back home is broken. Oops. That's okay, for there is a tech whiz undead elf person who can help us. They dress like a cool hacker. They give us the Machinist spellbook. That can convert scrap metal into damage. We don't really get a lot of scrap metal in this run. It's a random drop from robots. There is the potential that you could have enough to do it at a relevant timing. It's really luck-based, though, so I'm going to go ahead on the assumption I didn't drop enough. I wasn't really paying attention. Going to operate using the strats that don't involve that. Very niche strategies. Maybe. I'm dubious on whether or not it's even faster. So the gang must split up and turn a bunch of switches in an area that is apparently has a bunch of mana in the air. Shadow robots. Oh, two of them. So the game plan here is to just guard our way through these fights, because they end after one turn cycle. Melody countered the shadow. And like, this is sort of like a moment where, you know, it's like it's happening in the protagonist's mind. They're sort of having a moment, but Melody can counter her hallucinations. And you can win fights off it, too.
Wow. So powerful. Countering hallucinations.
If you counter your own, like, anxiety and, like, win the fight off it, they will give you gold. Ooh, all three. Yep, there's the counter, 106. Very nice. Okay, now we've hit the point where the rooms just start looping, and the fastest play is just to repeatedly go back and forth in and out of, like, the same room. Melody is currently experiencing mana poisoning. That's a thing in this universe, you see. The magic is all in the air, but too much magic, bad for you. You start to die. There are two of us now. I am not Melody. I am evil Melody. Her name is Harmony. This game was written at the same time as Celeste, but it is very funny that this is the kind of thing that both games have. If I had a nickel for every time I've played a game written by a trans developer where there's like an evil goth version of the protagonist, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. It's weird that it's happened twice.
Both seemingly excellent games, too. I mean, I haven't played this one. I've played Celeste, which is excellent, but this one seems good. This is definitely more on the silly side than the awful side, just for the record.
Yeah, no, I really like this game.
Yes.
In case that was not clear, we're on awfully silly here, but I do obviously very much like this game. Like, very hard to commit to running like a 2-hour RPG if you're not like into it. I don't do that irony poisoning stuff.
No, definitely not. We like to have some silly games on here, but I don't think any of the 3 games we had on tonight were particularly awful. Well, maybe Lassie, but but they were all definitely silly. So.
Anyway, we're back on the beach. We've teleported back to the outskirts of Greenridge. We can buy tropical shirts from that guy and engage in summer antics, but we're not going to do that. I don't have enough money. I can't afford Hawaiian t-shirts. Sadly, a Hawaiian t-shirt is one of the few forms of armor that Claire will actually wear, but we can't really afford it. Claire currently is wearing, like, absolutely no armor at all, and will not for the foreseeable future. Whereas the other party members are reasonably geared out. So the town is now Glitch. Oops. Fortunately, we pick up a free heal here, so Melody, having lost all her mana in the previous engagement, does not become a problem, because there was no, like, cutscene heal in between that, not until now. So now our goal is to teleport out the citizens of Greenridge, while everything is going wrong. They must do a fight in front of their domiciles. First port of call, the item shop, which we haven't actually been to. It's staffed by 2 kids who steal all of the items, like, off a truck or something. I honestly don't remember what the rationale is for that. Speed up Jody, attack the tear. Once again, the tear in space-time is kind of scary, because if it corrupts the party, problems occur. Yay! Crit!
That'll do it.
Let me get rid of the recursive looter scooter. The recursive loot scooter is not even close to as dangerous. Okay, 1 down. 2 turn, textbook. We tempt them to escape by asking if they would like to teleport, and they respond saying, yes, we've wanted to do that every day of our lives. So they teleport out. We give them a teleport stone to do it. We have, what, like 3 of them? Or is it 4? I don't remember. And we head to the library. None of the enemies are in the way. That was luck. The enemies just kind of wander. They can very much block the library if they feel like it. Through here, that enemy. Ah, look at that. See, they were like facing the other way and everything. It looks so nice, but no pass. No pass. That looks nice. I'm taking it. I'm going to rifle in these couch cushions for 2,000 gold, which is the most gold you can find in like an item so far. There are many horses. The horses attack twice. The nurse jelly heals. But with Allison and Jody's speed up, they can get rid of 1 horse before anyone has a chance to do anything. Provided they don't miss, at least. It's Allison, attack horse, frost thingy, attack. That should get this in second turn, assuming misses don't occur. Good so far. And frost. Nice. Jody hits level 10. We came to save the people in the magic store, but it turns out they're very good at magic. They don't really need our help, so we just kind of leave. We're just like, they seem to be doing fine. We should just go. And so we do. Last fight of Greenridge. It's a Core Guardian and a horse. The horse can be easily dealt with on the first turn. The Core Guardian has like a chance of doing Corruption Beam, which is the most dangerous thing it can do. Otherwise, it just kind of attacks. Generally speaking, this usually goes fine. Oh, miss. Miss! Claire counters. Good for her. 58 damage. I mean, it saved her from taking damage. Like, that's the benefit. She might not do much on her own counters, but it does do damage mitigation. And this is the last person we have to save, Beverly. This is the person Claire is crushing on. A plotline that will be unresolved in the speedrun. You're going to have to play the game for yourselves for that one.
Do it. Bring love to her.
Claire will never get to kiss GF in this run. It simply doesn't occur. Anyway, our annoying coworker, it turns out, is actually working for the enemy. Typical annoying coworkers. She has a battle axe. Her battle axe is funny because her battle axe swung sideways constitutes a physical attack for the purpose of countering, but swung overhead, no, counts as magical then. Battle axes can be parried, but only if they are swung horizontally. It's that kind of game. Laser beams count as physical. Rocks do not. I haven't really discussed the logic of what counts as a parryable attack so far, but laser beam is among them. I mean, Jodie is also reunited with her girlfriend. Jodie gets to kiss her girlfriend in this run. Claire does not. Claire is the odd one out here. I'm definitely bagging on Claire, and that's revenge for her horrible constitution being a constant liability during these runs. Okay, now we're in the Guardian's Vault. There are actually no required fights down here. We can pretty much just solve puzzles and go straight to the boss. Although enemies are going to try and get in the way. Unhelpful jelly. That's not helpful at all. They're right, it is unhelpful. There are traps on the floor here that actually will start an encounter. They're very hard to see. They're very slightly raised off the floor. I used to think those were invisible for the long... It took me a while to work out that you could see those. I thought people were just, like, memorizing a specific walking pattern to get through that room when, like, learning the run. Spider's headband, that will go on Allison later. It will improve her damage. The headband is actually one of the few items that Claire will wear in the head slot, which is a problem because it means auto-equip will try and put it on her, which is the one time I would like it to not do that. Claire can't win. Like, when she doesn't put on armor, I'm mad. When she does, I'm still mad for different reasons. Get this key down here. Please do not ask questions about why the town would have prisons in, like, the basement of their big tower. It is not important. Where they keep all their cool magic stuff, though, and we're going to steal all of it. That's our current goal, is we're going to get very nice gear while we're down here that will carry us through much of the rest of the game. So right now we could go straight to the boss and do the fight. Said boss would probably completely paste us, though. For we have no defense, we are sad. Or rather, Claire specifically has no defense, she is sad. But there is a solution to this problem. There's another room with traps. They're slightly more noticeable here just because they're sort of in rows rather than spread around sporadically. But this entire segment is technically optional, but we need to do it for the run because the gear it gets us is quite nice. There is a secret passage that is opened by punching 493 into this. I'll be honest with you, I completely forget how you're supposed to discover that solution organically. It's left my brain. I just know the number. And that gets us into a secret back compartment here, where they keep all of their cool magic stuff. Silver plate armor for Jodie, she'll be very tanky. Pocket healer, which I'm not going to use. Celestial vestments, actually somewhat good mage gear for Claire. She will be able to take a punch and not fold instantly. Mainly for damage, though. The kind of thing she will actually wear. Get out of the way, bro. Get out of the way. I've got stuff to do. Flame rod. Sword. Giant text box that just says sword. That's the Moonblade. Allison will use that to do lots of damage. Could you move, please? Thank you. Hey, you heard me. Could magical go to get rid of Fighter's headband, auto Allison, auto Jodie, and then equip staff to Melody. That's the menu, I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to trust I did that right. So all of our party members now have the right gear and the right spell books. Probably, assuming I did that menu correctly. And now we're going to go fight the boss. It's Paula. Paula is vulnerable to fire. This is highly exploitable. This. Speed up Allison. Flameblade Allison. So she'll be doing sped up fire damage. We're going to set Paula on fire several times over. I think she's a polar bear. Are polar bears weak to fire? I don't know about that. You think it'd be the one thing they'd be like... Oh, there's the horizontal swing.
I feel like Pokemon rules would say yes to it being weak to fire, but like real life rules would say no.
I guess that makes sense. In a video game kind of way, you know?
Yeah.
Miss. Alright, Paula halfway through this inflicts Cursed Cast on the entire party, which means that magic will deal damage to the person who casts. I don't care. It can't kill you. Ew, the crits, they're huge. Alice encounters, that's very nice. Player casts Scorch and nearly kills herself in process. Isn't everyone weak to fire? When you put it like that, I guess so. Ouch, Death's Door. Actually, do I have second aid? I do. Okay, that was solid. No one died. She has a move called Death's Door that can immediately put a party member on 1 health, which very much puts them in, like, the possibility of just getting sniped. But it can't kill them. You've always got time to sort of get a heal up. But I think she does have a move that, like, jumps the turn order, so it's a risk factor. Right, thus concludes Act 3. This is the longest, like, stretch of unbroken cutscenes in the game, so I get to chill out for a moment. The current plot occurrence is that sentient VHS tape is trying to summon something into the world using, like, a magic conduit that which is in the basement. And he done did it. I get to consult my notes real quick while this is playing out.
Always important.
Or I do have
for
notes
RPG.
for this
Yes.
game.
Yes, RPGs, you just need them. There's too much to remember.
I do not have this. I don't got this all memorized. Alright, turns out they were summoning a human. The non-furries are evil. That is the law of the land in this video game. But no, you see, she is the goddess of magic. She gave the world its magic, and she would quite like it back now. That is how this is progressing. She wants her magic back. She's mad at all of the furries. They stole her magic. She wants the magic. So she challenges them to a fight on a cool mountain. Come to my domain and fight me. You have 1 week, or I take all your magic. Another part is kind of like, well, now what? Well, they did not exactly sign up to fight a deity. But fight a deity they shall. And this is sort of like background lore about the gods of the universe. There's a whole theology system going on here. But the gods kicked... The other gods kicked her off the world. For god-type reasons. They didn't like that she gave them the magic in the first place, so the other gods kicked the goddess of magic out, and now she's back, and kind of annoyed about being kicked off. Melody is naturally having a bit of a crisis of confidence over this. I like the fact I have to summarize this at, like, record speed because I'm just holding down the button that skips all the text. Also, I haven't mentioned it, but mercifully, all you have to do to skip text in this game is just hold down X.
Love that.
I've ran RPG Maker games before where there is no auto text skip. You have to just mash for 3 hours. It's very unkind to your wrists.
Love that. Love that.
Yes, now Melody and Allison are fighting. They're kind of having, like, overlapping confidence of crises, the sort of different kinds of confidence crisis. Act 4. Act 4 is kind of the side quest act in the main game. You have pretty much like the full run of the map at this point. They can run around and do all sorts of stuff to get powered up before you go try and kill a god. I'm going to, however, pretty much beeline it. This is a speed run. Did you forget where you were? Oh, also, Jodie unlocks the ability to kiss her girlfriend at this point. It is now firmly available. She can summon her girlfriend in combat for a smooch. And this powers her up. It is a thing that we are probably not going to do. It has fringe use in some strategies because it builds her meter, her star power meter. So it's not useless, but it very probably won't come up in this run. Alright, we're in the astral plane. There's a critter in the well. We need 2 of those to trade it for an item later, a very powerful item. That's a whole, like, collecting side quest. Right, and now we're going to a part of the map we couldn't get to before because we didn't have the key. Now we have the key. We gained it in the cutscene. We're going to find Zinnia, who is like Faith's mentor. She's going to teach us some dope techniques for how to fight a god. You don't really get any skills for this. She just kind of like, I don't know, it's like a pep talk or something. Sometimes you just need a pep talk, I guess. I mean, now Jodie is leading the party, for Melody is not really into it right now. This slight detour here will get me the second star fruit, the item that refills a party member's star power gauge to their fullest. That will come up somewhat soon now. Oh, that enemy is off in a completely different direction. He's having a great time. Envious. Oh, aggro. Cool, no encounter. We've made it through the cavern. There are no required encounters in the cavern, thankfully. This is Zinnia. She's a huge dragon. But then she is also a small dragon. They can do that. They don't got to explain nothing. Jodie needs Chronomancy. Allison needs Spellblade. That's the menu for that. I gotta change around my spellbooks for this next section. They sit, they have tea, they discuss the situation. There is a somewhat revealed, like, that Zinnia kind of knows the goddess of magic, like, somehow, but it is unclear how that manifests for the time being. We will get there when we get there. Also, the goddess of magic's name is Verena. I forgot it comes up this early. It's not that meaningful, but, yeah. What? Basically, Zinnia was like the first spellcaster in the land. Like, she was the first person whomst met with Verena. And they had a nice chat. The nicest of chats. So now we're going to do a little team building exercise. Everyone loves those.
Yes, famously successful every time.
So Zinnia's idea of a team building exercise is that she splits the party into 2. This is why I arranged the spell books differently. Well, we are currently dealing with a party of only Melody and Claire. Read the healer and the frailest person in the game. Fortunately, however, there are absolutely no required encounters when playing with these 2. It's the other 2 you have to worry about. About 900 gold. Don't walk downwards. Thank you. So our goal is to collect berries. That is what Zinnia has tasked us to do. This prompts introspection on the part of people, as apparently doing puzzles in a snowy mountain is the best time for that kind of thing. But there is speed routing involved while we work through this. Even though Melody and Claire don't have, like, fights to do during their segment, they do have items to get. So one of the items I grabbed in the basement of the Guardian's Vault during the last act was the Flame Rod, which turns Claire's basic attack into a fire spell. A slightly weaker one, but a fire spell. That's relevant because it's now eligible to be boosted by speed up. It is the thing that will allow us to make use of, like, magic-boosted speed-ups. Because ordinarily, when you do a speed-up on a character, it only applies to their basic attack, i.e. not a spell. But if their basic attack is a spell, it works. So, using this principle, we are going to turn Claire into a machine gun. Which becomes important in the late game because magic damage scales fairly high, and also everything in the game is, like, stuff towards the end of the game, for whatever reason, is extremely weak to ice element, and, conveniently enough, there's a frost rod in that chest, turning your basic attack into a frost spell. Picnic set. The picnic set is an item that restores the entire party's HP and MP to full, but only outside of battle, not in it. So we would like to grab a couple of those for the end game, or the final dungeon is not particularly forthcoming with the free healing spots. So grab a couple of those, and we will be fine. Nice, that first dude didn't see me. Normally what happens is the second guy sees you when you're grabbing the berries and he starts buzzing around you while the cutscene is playing, and then you start a fight immediately when you're walking out. Nope. No optional counters. Pretty good. That concludes Duo 1 part of this. During this segment, the two confide in each other because they are both trans, and therefore they have a certain kinship that way. I don't think I actually mentioned that Claire is trans so far. It didn't come up. But it comes up then, so I'm mentioning it now. Right, now we're playing as Allison and Jodie. These are the problem two, because I don't have a healer with me.
Oof.
So their source of healing is entirely restricted to whatever items I've picked up so far. I think I have a mega potion or two. I picked one up on purpose. That's the thing, is that that's semi-random what item drops you have access to at this point. It's not like massively random, but you do got to be aware of it. And this fight is very, very scary, actually. Flame Blade yourself and attack the Snowbat. These dudes can do a lot of damage really fast, and one of them can even freeze a party member, which will stop them from doing anything. That counter is really nice. Love to see that. Beat up Allison, she is boosted with Flame Blade, and we'll rip through the Snowman. The Snowman's the one we target first because it can freeze a party member, and that's really, really bad in this situation. That's looking good so far. Another counter, looking juicy. That was really good. That fight is genuinely... I made that look very easy, but the counters were lucky. Allison stole an entire turn cycle off that. That fight can genuinely kill you, though, if it goes poorly enough. That's not a fight I made it look like that has any risk of dying whatsoever, but it totally does. Fortunately, that is the only mandatory encounter in the snow section. Now we just have to solve sliding ice puzzles. Mercifully, there are arrows on the ground because I have the game set to, like, easy, like, and high information mode, just for the sake of not having to memorize where I have to stand to do this. That's not there if you play the game on, like, the normal setting. But I have it turned on because I'm very, very lazy. I can memorize all of the build strategies. Can't be bothered to memorize the ice puzzles, though. Don't wanna. Another set of silver plate armor. That will end up going on Melody, so then she will be able to tank stuff real good. Allison will not wear silver plate armor. I've been bagging on Claire the whole run because she will not wear, like, pretty much anything that's protective. Allison also has restrictions on what she can wear, though. She won't wear most kinds of heavy armor. Whereas I think Melody and Jodie have, like, no particular restrictions. Don't quote me on that. I haven't, like, gone through the entire list. For the purposes of this run, though, they seem to wear pretty much anything. I am going to wait this cycle. Enemies that are moving around like this on the map, if you get into an encounter with them, you can't run from it. So you gotta be careful with those. Oh, F. Chat is saying F.
Mm-hmm.
Why is chat saying F? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah,
good?
we're all right. We're all right.
We're good?
Mhm.
I missed the cycle because of chat saying F. I had to wait there. It's your fault, chat. I blame you. Anyway. We slide past that last puzzle. I find it very funny that this game and Omori both have the exact same joke with like a sliding puzzle that looks very elaborate, but you just slide straight up through it.
I do love that, as complex sliding puzzles are my nemesis.
I like how Omori and this game are both RPG Maker games that took like 7 years to develop that both have that same joke in a snowy mountain. There was a real mood going through the dev team there.
Yep.
Anyway, the conversation that just played out there reveals that Allison and Jodie used to date and then stopped, but it also, more crucially for the run, refills their health. And now we're going to fight Paula too, with only 2 party members, and she's very hopped up on magic. We will start by buffing Allison with Flame Blade and also putting Barrier on her. Jodie has access to Barrier, which is a skill that reduces incoming damage. It's important here because we don't really have much in the way of healing. That burn is nasty to get it applied early because it's going to burn through Allison's health pool. I might have to fence a potion on this. But for the most part, we just kind of have Allison do all the damage forever. Yeah, that's totally fence a potion. I am not putting up with that. That is a risk I do not want in my life. Attacking Jodie is fine. Jodie can generally take it. That should end it. Yep. You don't actually have to get Paula's HP all the way down because she has to have a little nap in the middle of the fight. It's because she's suffering from mana poisoning. She can't take it. She's dying from too much magic. It's okay. This is a nice game about nice people. So we drain the magic on her behalf. She complains at us anyway, though. You know, for letting her live and all that. They argue. She splits. We will not be fighting her again. I fenced the potion on that fight, which is fine. But that is another fight that is potentially kind of scary, because if you run your healing item stock down and you don't have anything to go with, Paula can just kind of kill you. And here the game briefly becomes a visual novel.
Text-based adventure.
Okay, now we're controlling Verena, the goddess of magic, as she struts about her base in the mountain. She would like to see the sights of the home that, you know, she once had. Her world, after all. Now she's going to take a look around. Like, oops, everyone's undead now. That's weird. Then she travels to the ruins of her magic school and, oops, trauma! Sneaks up on you. Yes, this is the reason she is mad at the furries. They burned her magic school down, and she is kind of not over it.
I wouldn't be either. I kind of get it.
Zinnia also gave us the Dragon Key and Dragon's Cure, which consolidates all of your status healing spells into one, but it also makes it more expensive, so it's like actually slightly a wash for this run. Mana management and all that. Okay, so now we have access to the Dragon's Key, which can get us into lots of doors that would give us powerful equipment, but we only really care about the one that's, like, plot necessary to progress the game. So once again, going to hit up the astral plane to travel the Amber Woods. We use this fast travel point a lot. It is the most important one. It's kind of very central, you know? So we're looking for the Bloom spell. It allows us to turn flowers into platforms. It is necessary to progress the game. Maybe the first issue was teaching fire spells first. If you didn't teach them fire spells, they wouldn't have burned your magic school down, it's true. But like, you gotta start with Fireball. That's like the first thing everyone learns.
That is the classic.
You ever been to wizard school before?
Yeah, haven't you been to wizard school before?
They teach this stuff on page 1.
Anyway, Bloom is over here. In the woods, conveniently. You spend much of the game seeing these if you actually explore and you're like, how do you get past these? And now you can get past them. Also going to take a slight detour here to grab the second critter. Every 2 critters we collect as part of this little side quest grants us access to 1 more powerful item. But we only need 2. And the item we're going to get is a tiny hat for Claire. It's a hat that she can wear on top of her existing hat. This is the only condition under which she will wear normal headgear. It massively boosts her magic power and turns her into a machine gun. Since that is our current game plan. Allison still gets to be a physical bruiser, though. Oop. Get an ancient key. We will need that to activate a mechanism. Standing in the 1 tile space I would like to pass through, enemies do be like that.
I say that's happening more or less often this run, because I feel like we've had that happen quite a few times.
Pretty normal, honestly.
Okay.
It's just like the game is just like that.
It do be that way, alright. Understood.
Lost gold chest. Yeah, the game doesn't really, like, encourage you to run past everything like this per se, but it is definitely an option. Anyway, this is what we needed the key for. It activates this bridge. We can get into the sanctuary in the middle of the uncanny valley. Now I'm going to do a little bit of shopping. I'm going to buy the strongest melee weapon in the game that we have reasonable access to outside of like side quests or whatever. The fairy hammer. And we're going to activate the side quest where this guy wants us to find his animals for him. We've already found 2 of them, so this is where we exchange for a super tiny witch hat that will go on top of Claire's existing hat. Right, do the menu. Auto Allison, auto you, equip Frost Rod, auto Jody, auto Melody. I think that's right. No, not quite. Chronomancy has to go on. Yeah. Super. Now I'm solid. Going to Sanctuary is required to finish the run. You have to pass through it to get here, which is how you go forward. Holy person in chat Hunst asked. Yes, we bought the Fairy Hammer, which is one of the strongest melee weapons in the game, but the caveat is that you can't equip a spellbook while you have it. Which is fine for Allison, because she's not really using her mana for anything anyway. She has no brain. Head completely empty, only smash.
No thoughts.
And we also bought her a nice vest so that she can, like, take a few punches. Okay, so this is Heavy Jelly. It's a jelly with a rocket launcher. The gimmick of this fight is that they can only take damage from moves that use the star power meter. This is why we picked up the star fruits all throughout the game. But we fill Allison's and Claire's meters like straight away, and now they're going to go to town on it. Nice dodge. Love to see that. Multi-scorch. Jodie in this fight is completely incapable of doing any damage at all, so she's just going to guard forever. She has no star power moves at this point that actually do any damage. So she's just kind of sitting here. However, guarding Jody does completely shrug off a rocket launcher hit. 33 damage is nothing.
Wonder if the rockets are also made of jelly.
Claire counters does no damage, but that's good because the counter builds meter. Claire also builds meter from attacking, so getting a counter actually gives you extra meter to play with. Another reason why the counter thing is extremely good. Yep, very nice. Everyone levels up. Melody learns revive, so now I have access to something that will let me revive down to party members. Before this point, you kind of can't, so just don't let anyone die. And Allison also learned lightning kicks off that, which is an all-hitting move. It is the only thing Allison is going to use mana for. But it is an innate skill, so she doesn't need like a spell book for it. Onward to Mount Sappho. That one might be a bit on the nose, but then the whole thing is called the Sapphire Islands, I guess. Is that really a bridge too far? I don't know. For some reason, that's the one that jumps out to me the most, though. But for some reason, the penny for me playing this did not drop until that part. I was like, wait a minute! This is gay! I can't believe it.
How dare they in the Super Lesbian Animal RPG game?
That's not what I signed up for! What? Dudes in minecarts. Dudes in minecart. We will have to avoid the minecarts. Because if we get into a fight with them, you can't run away from it. And our goal is to find 2 keys. Solve a quick puzzle here. It makes a bridge for us. Right, so thus begins Act 1 of Claire being a machine gun. Because we're going to speed up Claire. You're going to do lightning legs, and you're going to just attack the lava. So Claire, now sped up, gets 2 casts of frost. And a lot of enemies in the late game are weak to frost. So this works out very well for our plan of turning people into a machine gun. If they could stop hitting Claire, they really all went for Claire. Absolutely all of them. They really wanted a piece.
Must be the hat.
People play this game are absolutely convinced that like Claire draws more aggro than other enemies by virtue of just her personality, I guess. It's not true though, it just feels like it. It really feels like they go for her more often. They don't though. I promise you they don't. You just feel it more. We've checked. It's been like a thing people have looked at.
There is data, there is science.
Yeah, the data was done mainly for the purpose of finding out what attacks counted as physical, for the purpose of countering. It's really, really random. Again, laser beams count as physical, rocks don't. Anyway, outside of everything trying to kill Claire, that encounter went perfectly fine. Okay, so we've made it to the final base. But alas, sentient VHS tape spirits everyone away to various rooms. So now we will be playing as Allison on her own for a bit. And again, Allison on her own has no access to healing outside of items. This segment is medium scary as a consequence. Generally fine, because I gave her the mithril vest, which gives her a lot of defense. Color wheel swaps my palette. I have no idea. Like, all of the color palette swaps are like references to something. I have no idea what this one is. Someone in chat probably knows.
Oh yeah. I'll let you know if somebody probably nails it.
Yo, nice counter. Ooh, a potion drop. Convenient. Just what I need right now. Okay, so I'm hoping for a counter here. You can't counter mana drain. That is indeed a spell. I did it twice. Never mind that then. No counters for you. In his bunny form from OKKO, says the chat. I have never seen OKKO, so I'm going to have to take your word for it on that one.
Yep, I cannot confirm that either, but sounds right.
Sounds right.
Seems like there's some consensus.
I
too,
believe
so.
you.
Yep.
Okay, this is the potentially scary one. There's actually 3 enemies in this fight, but one of them's just invisible. It's nothingness. We're hoping for counters here. Like that. Okay, 2 down. Counter... Nope. Ah! Dodge. Sad. Okay, Allison got a bit more beat up than I would have. No, she leveled up. It's fine. I forgot. She levels up off that fight. She gets to full anyway. Fine. There's no problem. Okay. We've reunited with Melody. We have our healer back. The girls are having a moment. They are talking about their feelings and what have you. I do like this game's writing, but it always makes me feel a bit stupid to summarize scenes like this in a speedrun.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's nice. I like this sort of thing. But I'm here to go fast. I'm not here to watch people talk about their feelings.
Feelings are slow.
Get with the program. Right. Moving on. So our goal is to reunite the party, naturally. So far. This dude did not block my way. Excellent. Love that for me. This dude is blocking my way. Do not love that for me. Okay. Working around it. So the first party member we're going to get is Jodie. Not this time, not out of specific dislike of Claire, but because you just have to do it in that order. Oh. Wind presses. So this fight blocking Jodie's cell is a fight against the Fun Police. The Fun Police has an ability that is completely unique to them called No Fun. When No Fun is in play, you cannot use specials. No, fun is forbidden. No fun is indeed allowed. Rubbish, that. Ooh, the miss is brutal. No, fun is forbidden. Okay, will Scorchword still happen? Yeah, it doesn't count as a special, I guess. Okay, learned something today. Everyone being no fun allowed on both party members at once is, and this is true, cringe, because I can't heal. Nice counter. Can I still use Spellbook? Yes. Oh, good counter. Good, because Melody being no fun means she can't heal. So that fight can also be kind of scary. Because Melody getting stuck with no fun right at the start, followed by Cosmic Warrior pounding on Arson's head, can absolutely kill her. If it sounds like there's a lot of like risk points in this run, it's actually because, you know, there are. It's just mostly going pretty well. I made 29 saves in preparation for this run. I want you guys to know this. I made 29 saves in for all sorts of contingencies of things not going properly, and I haven't needed to use any of them so far.
29 backup saves. You biked here at full speed. Just the dedication.
I'm very prepared.
I have to admire it.
I'm going to talk to the chest first. If you talk to the chest first to get it, Claire complains at you for doing so. It is slower to do that, but I think it's very funny. The party goes, maybe if you glowed colors like that, we'd be more inclined to notice you first. Anyway, the gang is all back together. Knock on wood. Oh yeah, we've got the scariest part of the run coming up, the scariest boss. If that goes wrong, I will not even be vaguely shocked. I'm just gonna blink twice and load a save and be like, well, do it again. Get my last picnic set here. What is this guy doing? Okay, this fight. Beat up Allison, attack the horsey. Boss rod on that. So the gimmick of this fight is that the third enemy in the set here is immune to all physical attacks. They are only vulnerable to magic, while the other two, the Cosmic Roar in the middle, is pretty much only vulnerable to physical. So you need everyone on deck for this. He really missed. That is very sad. Allison is dying. The miss is kind of bad, but I think I'm salvaging the situation. That counter really helped. Okay, so now the 2 spellcasters basically can't do anything to this guy. His magic defense is sky high. They'll do 1 damage. So we're just going to have them guard, and we're going to have Melody heal to get everyone back into shape. And I guess, you know, herself back into shape, because that seems to be the more salient issue right now. Dive bomb. Good. No one died. That was a bit of a mess out of the gate, but no one died, so I don't really care. Get a wizard hat. A full-size wizard hat. Melody gets to have that. Claire can't wear a full-size wizard hat because she already has one. I'm gonna have to muscle this guy out of the way. Now, once again, in the 1-tile situation. 1-tile moment. Okay, and that solves this room. And now we enter the 4 teleport room. This is a kind of like semi-boss rush. Because look who's back. Gumball. But at this point, everyone is significantly stronger. We should be able to 2-turn this, given ideal circumstances. Yep. That frost did a lot of damage. Again, everything is just weak to frost at this stage. Even Jody can do decent damage with the Moonblade.
I like
Everyone
that.
levels up.
I feel like fire damage gets a lot of representation. Not enough representation for frost damage, in my opinion. So it's cool to see
This
that.
RPG restores the balance.
Yes.
Okay, I have to lean into my screen like I'm doing brain surgery for this. There are traps again on the floor that trigger an unavoidable encounter if you step on them. And they look like nothing, and the entire room is glowing, and I hate it. Stop. My eyes. Okay, it's done. Play along at home and see if you could see what part of that constituted a trap. It takes some doing to get used to. Okay, Dust Bunny EX. Stronger Dust Bunny. Notably off the Gumball fight last time, Jody learned her most useful ability, Crack in the Armor, which is it takes 2 stocks of star power to use, but it lowers the enemy's defense and magic defense by like a lot. It's very useful. So Jody now has a star power move that can do damage, and not only can it do damage, it can facilitate lots of damage. Yeah, I got an elixir. Okay. Equip Melody with Magical Girl, or everything is bad. Picnic set, everyone back up to full, and now I'm going to do the scariest fight in the game. We're about to fight Jarvis. He is the hardest fight in the game. You win by the grace of the game not killing you, is how this one works.
These are always the most fun runs.
It's one of
those.
those. This is very, very, very luck reliant.
Will we have to utilize one of those saves? We'll see.
You can do a whole bunch of stuff that's very, very scary. So we'll open the same way I always do. Kiss Allison, do Frost, and then speed up Allison, so who do all the damage. Corruption, that's bad. That's one of the openers that sucks. I mean, Jody getting hit's okay, though. But it does kind of do a number on my damage. Cure that. We're really gonna do it twice? We're really gonna do me like that? You're gonna bring me out here in the prime of my life for this? So yeah, that's Corruption Beam is bad because it obviously blocks the enemy turn, and Corruption Beam takes priority in the turn order, which is its own kind of annoying. Fortunately, Melody is immune, so her getting hit by Corruption Beam is fine. Now there are glitch members of the party in play. I don't know what glitch Jody's gonna do. I'm a bit worried about this, actually. Yep, chained Allison. That kind of sucks. Things are occurring. Chained and corrupted. Okay, I give up on Allison. She doesn't get to play the game.
She's done.
Forget this. No, I am actually going to cure that. I have a spare turn with which to do so. Oof. Cracking the armor on Claire. That's kind of scary. That does a lot of damage. I put barrier on her mostly just to build meter for Jody. But that's not going to stop her from getting killed if it hits the wrong person. Okay. Allison is back in play. And speed her up again. Nope. Claire is corrupted. Jumps the turn order. She doesn't get to do nothing. You thought you got to play the game? You fool. You idiot. You buffoon. Okay, Blast Beat does a lot of damage, but at least it hit the only person who can take it. Attack. Actually, what do I do here? I think I want to do it like this. Yeah. Jody is risking death with this, but I'm going to have to just live with that. Don't miss. That is like the worst timing for that. Ah, Betrayal. Betrayal is a move where the party attacks each other. This is the one you got to worry about because everyone dies. Allison does a high kick. I bet she does. This is what I bought the tier for. It's absolutely horrendous.
Oh wow. Well, we kind of we preempted it. We knew it was going to be it could be a little rough, Ref.
Oh, extremely. I'm getting through it. I'm muddling through the situation, but boy, is this is bad. And Jody's frozen. This is all kinds of problems right now. Can Jody tank it? Can Allison tank this? Just about? Question mark?
Okay.
This is terrifying. I am not having a good time. Stop, please. He has normal moves, I promise.
Those aren't as interesting for us to see, of course.
This is such a slobber knocker. Holy moly. Why did I do that on Jody? That should have been Claire. Claire just punched herself. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing?
Stop hitting yourself.
I'm getting a migraine. Please hit the right. Thank you. God, I got through it. No one. I won the fight. That was obviously incredibly slow, but I didn't die.
Magically. I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
That's about as bad as that can go without getting a game over, frankly. I styled it out quite well, but God, there was no breaks on that. Like, he does not always just corrupt you over and over again. Like, no turns for you. You can't play the game. Ooh, betrayal. Jody's dead. It's like it's not like that. It's sometimes he just does single target moves over and over again, and nothing interesting happens. And you just rip through his actually pretty small health pool. Anyway, next boss. This boss fight is distinctly less scary, but like also prone to taking longer based on luck. Our opener is pretty much the same, though. We kiss Allison, we speed her up. This bunny does 6,000 DPS. The main thing that Verena doesn't have that Jarvis does is the ability to skip the turn order with Corruption Beam. She can't do that move. Oop. Now we speed up Claire. Claire gets useful play in this part of the run because this boss will actually buff the entire party's magic stat about halfway through the fight, which Claire is naturally poised to take very good advantage of. I'm trying to get Jody's barrier on. There we go. Jody now has 2 meter. She can do crack in the armor. We want that online as fast as possible. The defense down is extremely useful. The point where I'm actually going to forego speeding up Allison again to get it up. The 3 of Pentacles! Oh, there's Freeze. Yep, so this is mana boost. Everyone's magic power is boosted. Yours, the enemies, everyone's. I would like to be reapplying my speed ups right about now, but Jody got frozen. That's bad luck. Not good luck, crucially. There's been better luck. Speed up Claire, because under the effects of mana boost, she is doing a lot of damage all the time. Four of Swords hits absolutely everyone, which is kind of miserable. And it also takes a really long time to resolve. The defense down has expired. I'm going to reapply it. $800 crit. Ah, blink. Where you going? I'm going to use this turn to get speed up applied on Allison. Blink is a move where Verena just leaves for a bit. She's gone. You can't hit her. And then she comes back and does magic. It's basically just delays the fight by a turn, which, you know, thanks. Yeah, Magic Missile did 1,300. That's the power of the magic boost. Okay. That was a lot less scary. Compared to the previous fight, that was pretty chill.
Yes, that did not have my heart as racing as much as the last one.
It wasn't an amazing fight, but it was fine. It was fine. I've had worse. That fight can pose an issue if, like, the dice land wrong. She has access to freeze, which did happen, and if it freezes the wrong person, it can really, like, screw stuff up. So it's not no risk. So getting through that relatively painlessly after that last one, good for my heart. Yes, and the plot right now is that it turns out Verena was doing all of this because she thought her wife was dead. Killed by the furries. Turns out she's not. Her wife is the dragon. And she's, because Melody, like, offhand mentions, oh yeah, what happened between you two? We, like, spoke to her, but she wouldn't tell us. And she's like, what do you mean you spoke to her? She was under the impression that she was dead. Turns out all of this is because she missed her wife. We've all been there.
It do be that way.
Proceed. The game, in fact, gives you a prompt to, like, are you sure you want to go fight, like, the final boss? It even gives you, like, a vending machine in the void. Seems very polite like that. Biblically accurate VHS tape is currently taking place.
Was that Rainbow Comic Sans font that I saw for a second?
I think so, yes.
Yes. Yes.
And so in order to combat biblically accurate VHS tape, we do the Dark Ritual one more time to take on way, way too much magic power. A threat to one's life, but now the lesbians will truly be super. They were not super before this moment. It's true, I know it's hard to accept, but these are the facts. Only now do they truly become super. Okay, so now Melody and Allison are hopped up on tons of magic and have tons of health and mana and stuff. Claire and Jody are just kind of hanging out. Their goal is to buff the other two.
Good vibes only from them.
Cleansing Light, attack boost Allison, have Jody do barrier because that builds her meter. We kind of want Jody to get hit so she can get cracking the armor up. Not like that, though. Wrong kind of hit. That stopped Claire from getting attack boost up, which is obnoxious. Do that. Paladin's Cure will cure the party of ailments for free. Boy, do I wish I had that in the main game. Everyone takes damage. Jodie has enough for cracking the armor. Good for her. Cleansing light. Now I'm going to start doing directional attacks. I really hope I'm able to get... Defense down came out. So that's nice. That will... And attack boost came out. Okay, Claire got her buffs off. Claire can die now. Shoo, go away. Your time is up. You did it.
Your watch is ended.
We actually we want them to die at this point because pick a move and stick to it. We want them to die at this point because at this point their turns would take more time to resolve than it is actually worth. Which is very callous, but speedruns. It's Allison, Heaven Kick. The directional moves at this point are important because of where the eye is moving the eye on the star. If you attack the right part of the body, you do about 3,000 damage, all other things being equal. Fence down expired. Heaven Kick again. Fortunately, both Melody and Allison are like immune to corruption at this stage, so if the corruption wave comes out, it's really only Claire and Jodie you have to worry about, and they're both dead! I don't even care! Who are those two again? He's not even really trying to hit me. One more good hit should do it. Yep, there we go. That's the final boss down. The buffs could have come up with more convenient time, but that was basically fine. Claire got what she needed to do done and then quietly left, which is ideal circumstances. We got about a minute left at the end of the run, so I'm just saying, if you've enjoyed this run so far, I mean, I've basically spoiled the entire game for you, but if you've enjoyed this run so far and want to try the game for yourself, there's a whole bunch of side quests I don't do in the speedrun. It's currently 20% off on Steam, I think.
Yes, chat was highlighting that earlier. Thank you.
I'm going to highlight it as well. It's a good video game. I kind of feel like chat's already played the game, though. It's one of those games where every time I stream it, I feel like everyone watching is like significantly more informed about the game's development than I am. I just like RPGs.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. With most of the games I play, to be honest. Everyone already played them, they know more about it than I do. You know, what are you gonna do?
Anyway, in the aftermath of battle, their bodies took on too much mana, but the goddess of magic saved them, because actually she was like, you know what, you guys are cool, I've changed my mind about this, because it turns out my wife's not dead, so it's alright. Everyone's cool again. They hashed it out with hammers and stuff. And we launched Javis into the sun. Whee! And now pretty much our only objective is go home and go to bed, which mood, it's like 2 a.m. for me right now. That is in fact what I will be doing as soon as this is over. I'd like to shout out the Super Lesbian Animal RPG speedrunning community, specifically Kyrol, because I have basically been stealing all of their good ideas for this route the entire time. This route has been more or less us like bouncing ideas off of each other. Mutual plagiarism. I think we call that collaboration, less rudely.
Yeah, that's a better name for
it. I prefer mutually ripping each other off. Yeah, this is honestly a game I expected to run like maybe a couple of times once and be like, hey, cute game, and then never do it again, but then I actually ran it for like 2 months and have been continually reworking the route, so I've put more effort into this than I thought I would. Been a good time though. I've enjoyed really like figuring out the possibilities of the battle system. It's got fun combat. It's a cute game that I enjoy running. Time will be when the logo appears in the sky, which is an odd point for timing to end, but it's, I don't know, I like the feel of it. I like unconventional timing ends. So... time. That's time.
Beautiful and well done. Pretty fast, I feel like.
What was the time?
Give it a second for it to catch up. It looks like a 154.33.
Adequate. I went underestimate at least.
Yes, which is that's always good. That's always good.
The estimate was generous because RPG. I kept mentioning there were like lots of pain points where you can just die. Didn't happen though. The worst case scenario was accounted for, and I went severely under that.
Very well done. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Punchy, do you have it? I know you already shouted out the Super Lesbian Animal RPG speedrun community. Anything else you'd like to plug, shout out before we wrap up here?
I'm gonna plug myself. If you enjoyed the run, follow my Twitch channel. If you like Super Lesbian Animal RPGs, stop by my channel. I'm actually usually a horror speedrunner, but I frequently like to confuse my viewing base by doing stuff like this. It's for my sake more than anything. It's like a sort of like pruning exercise.
Yes, please follow Punchy, and I'll echo that. Follow Punchy and follow all the runners we featured tonight as well. Sand Shark, Silver Moonlight, and Demonic Robots all put on excellent showcases. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Punchy. I appreciate it. I'm going to let you get to sleep by signing off here pretty quickly. Thank you for everyone who joined us tonight for Awfully Silly. I really appreciate it. We had a blast with these animalistic runs. Just wanted to remind everyone as well, of course, if you end up watching this run on YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And feel free, if you would like, to come on over to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. If you're interested in looking at our live content, that's going to start most weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the weekends. We also you probably won't want to go anywhere because we have Out of Bounds coming up right after this show ends, which is a show that features glitches, tips, and tricks for some of your favorite speedruns. The game is a pretty interesting one. It's also a runner I've always wanted to work with, and cannot wait to have them on my show. Somebody by the name of Conception will be running some Bug Snacks content over on that show, so be sure to stick around. Yes. Be sure to stick around, and we'll have some more fun content with myself and Kung Fu Fruit Cub coming up right after this. So we'll see you in a little bit. But for now, for Awfully Silly, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.
See ya. Also, trans rights. It's topical for this game. Just throwing that in there.
Trans rights.
Trans rights. Thanks for watching.